Ah!
Back to Nigeria, my country. To be faithful, loyal, and honest. To see big BBC Nuri. Tell me only for us, oh yeah. Someone like a man in me. To defend our unity. Uphold our honor and glory. To see big BBC Nuri. Tell me only for us, oh yeah. Someone like a man in me.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good every time. Very sorry for that. I was a little bit tense because we started very, very late today and it's not going to happen again. I can assure you guys. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, good every time you are, maybe afternoon, morning, evening. I want to say a very big special welcome to you guys on the show tonight. I'm going to sing one song, and a lot of you might know the song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for go no boys, cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our brothers while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just the part of it. Well, it can't be part of life. If you just want to go and say Fulani X-Man can kill anytime, or Fulani has the right to rule everybody, all animals are equal, right? But not like in the zoo of Nigeria. One of my brother, we call it, we're all tenants in this world. There's no landlord. And some people think they're landlord. And then there's no landlord. Because we're all gonna leave. When the owner of the house wants us to leave, there's nothing absolutely any one of us can do. We have to leave. If he give you the red card, you're leaving. It's by grace that I keep everyone here. It's not that you are entitled to anything here. If he decide to say it's time for you to pack your load and go, it's time for you to pack your load and go. Welcome to African Politics on Heritage Television. My name is Adi Thomas once again. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. How could you do that? What can you do to take yourself away from being a slave in your own land, in your own house? Tonight, I've managed to assemble some fantastic group of people who will be deliberating with tonight. Remember, on Wednesday, we have the Elders Forum on Wednesday. The Elders. Everybody on that program on Wednesday will be over 70s. People in their 70s, people who knows, people who've seen. Yes, we knows as well. The young one knows because we managed to read. But not people that read alone, people that will actually witness the past of what has happened in Nigeria. So I've managed to assemble some fantastic people here with me tonight who will be deliberating together. This is a conversation, like I always say, it is not an interview, it is nothing but just a discussion, a political discussion. Everybody comes here and discuss what they feel, how they feel. Yes, their opinion is their own. It doesn't necessarily represent Heritage opinion. Neither does my opinion represent Heritage opinion. Heritage is a moderate. But what we fight for, we fight with peace. Peace is very, very important. We don't want no one to die. We don't want no one to get killed. And it can happen. And it will happen peacefully. Because we have the tools. We have the technology. We have the will. We have the mind. We have the might. So I'm going to review my speakers tonight. And then I will let them do the honor of introducing themselves because there's no point in introducing themselves. Even though I can see their name there, Ruben Akintunde is fantastic, and he said to me he hasn't been to Baba for the last 12 years. I don't know how I can say lockdown happened in 12 years ago. He's talking, I don't know what he's talking about. He was telling me, oh, look at my beer. Everything is there because I haven't been to Baba's for 12 years because of lockdown. And lockdown actually only yesterday. So the first person I want to talk to tonight is actually Ruben Akintunde. Can you tell our audience who you are, where you're from, where you are tonight, where you are normally at, and who are you? Who is Ruben Akintunde?
Well, good evening, viewers and listeners all over the globe. My name is Ruben Akintunde. By the grace of God, I'm from Ondo State in Nigeria. I came from a little town called Imeri, not Say local government, and I've had the honor to represent my people while I was serving as a state chairman for Ondo State Pension Board under Governor Olusegun Mimiko. Well, I've always been a UK resident until when I was called to duty. And thank God, having served meritoriously, and I came back, and I'm back in the UK. So, but at least I'm still much involved in the Nigerian politics, and I'm still a member of PDP, so Nigeria. I think that would be what I would at least say for now. There are any other question that I will need to answer as regard to myself, I think I will do that at the later stage. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Well, you didn't look like Methuselah with all the bears in the whole world, so I don't know what you're talking about. 12 years. The last time you went to Baba is 12 years ago. Well, thank you very much for being
Uh,
here today. Can I
yes,
ask you one question?
yes, sir.
Have you ever embezzled our money in Nigeria while you're working in Ondo State?
I don't think so. Today, I think I left office in 2017. I actually also serve as a senior special assistant to the governor, and
And you're telling me you didn't
my
embezzle money? You didn't take any money?
no, my records are there at the pension board. So if anyone will tell you today, the FCC knocks on my door, I will open without any hesitation, and they have my records are there.
Okay.
So I have
We're going to
not.
try and scrutinize the record tonight, yeah?
There's no
Audience,
problem about that.
this is a man we're not going to vote out today. We're not going to vote this man out today because we want to actually grill him. We want to find out how they're doing it, how it's been done, how they've been managing it, how they've been working on it.
Hmm.
But let's go
Yeah.
to the other people in the panel today. Thank you very much, Ruben
Okay.
Akintunde, for joining us. It's lovely having you on the show today. And I'm very
Thank you.
happy that you will be able to shed so much light on why corruption is ravaging in Nigeria. It's not PDP. Don't tell him it's PDP. It's not PDP. It's pension. Pension
No.
and PDP doesn't work together. So don't say
No.
PDP. We don't do politics here. Okay.
Okay. My service, my public service. So my public service record is what I probably want to. I will.
Okay,
I will.
great stuff.
I will.
Thank you very
I
much,
will
sir.
hook on and
Anyway,
be
PDP
able
is not
to.
wearing blue in it. They do red and blue and red and yellow or whatever color they do. Okay,
It's
let's go
green, red, and white.
green, red, and white. Okay, thank God they're not using
Okay.
our color. Guys,
No.
welcome to the show again. I thank you guys for joining us. I'm so sorry for coming on late, but I can see a lot of you coming on, and the comments have started flowing in. I'm going to. Do I need to introduce the rest? They don't need introduction. Do they need formal introduction? Frank, do you think you need formal introduction?
I think Frank is already a household name on Heritage TV. They know him as the devil's advocate. It doesn't matter. Doesn't take anything out of me. I'm still who I am. Anyway, viewers all over the whole world, you are welcome. I salute you, and I'm pretty sure that you guys you're going to have another cracky hot session.
Okay, thank you very much, Prince Daniel. Thank you for that. PDP and APC, they're both the same. We don't believe they're different because what's going to make them different? They both thief anyway. So I don't know what they were doing over there. So guys, thank you very much for that. I'm going to go to Fatai Okuribido. Go ahead, sir. Fire on. Introduce yourself so everybody know you.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, mates. Nice to see you once again. My name is Fatai Ogorebido. I'm a passionate Yoruba man, and right now, I think my prayer is the realization of our Oda Republic, and that is why this forum is actually established to be able to enlighten people and they open their mind towards the reality that is it is done on Nigeria and in Nigeria. So please follow us today and let us have a cracking time.
Fantastic. Yeah. And the next one I'm gonna introduce is my very own personal person. If you know the reason I call this man my personal person, you understand. But if you don't know, you won't understand. But you need to know. Abimbola Thomas Adebayo. Thank you for joining. I really like that. You can Google Nigeria right now. Country called Zoo. You will see Nigeria will come out. Yeah, it's what you put into Google that Google will say to you guys. Okay, you will soon find out why I call this man my brother, my personal person, because it makes things happen for me. Ola Yomi Koiki of Koiki Media. Please, guys, you need to follow Koiki Media. You need to follow my Egon. You need to follow everybody. You need to follow Frank Bello. And I'm not sure if Ruben Abak Akintude has a page or something like that. People need to follow because people need to know. And we're gonna have to grill Ruben Akintunde today. We're gonna have to grill him. So your question needs to fly to him. The only person we'll be asking question today might be him, depending on how things work out. Okay, Olayomi Koiki, my main man. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Very good evening to all our viewers around the globe, and we welcome you again to another edition of the Politics with the Boss. As we all know, we do play politics in our house, we do play politics wherever we are, but the most important politics that have been affecting generation to generation is the continent itself. That so many of you sometimes wonder, how did we get to where we are? Can we improve it? Can it be changed? Well, we'll be playing our own role as a citizen of the world and the citizen of that continent. My name is Ola Yomi Koiki, the founder of Koiki Media, and quite a lot of work I do behind the scene with other media partners, not just here in the United Kingdom, but also in Nigeria. We welcome you again to the show.
The first person I introduced is not a PDP, it's a public service in Nigeria, and it's still a public service in Nigeria. It's not a PDP. We didn't bring him here as a PDP, and I don't think I have an open letter to Omoyele Shore. Okay, we give you a chance to read that one later on. Omo Yoruba Oduduwa. Thank you for that. Okay, let's go to the show today. Two things. Someone sent me something earlier on to say there was a demonstration in France about some people saying they should stop Boko Haram or something like that. Okay, Abimbola Thomas, what's my own? You didn't say well done to me. You only said well done to Olayomi Koiki. I will tell you, Amigo wife. Okay, can we start with Mr. Ruben? What do you think? Should we start grilling him straight away, put them fire, initiate him into the circle? Everybody has been initiated. Maybe we need to give him a little bit of bully, shake him, get all the coins in his pocket out, get all the things in his pocket out. What do we do? Let's go there. Ruben, you serve in the pension board
Yes.
as what? Treasurer?
I was executive chairman.
Okay, so sometimes chairman only see people.
Well, but the word executive means nothing goes out of the
Okay,
board
that's
without my approval.
okay. That's good. And how was it when you left? Did people praise you for doing what you're doing?
Well, it's a mixture of both.
Like in life, life is full
Those
of mixture.
those who saw what I did in the positive
Wait,
in positive lights praised me, including the governor himself. Um, those who sees what I did there as a negative in times that I made it clear from the beginning, from the onset, that I was not there to mismanage the resources of the board. And even though some people warned me that I will be stepping on many toes if I go down that line, but I insisted that why I'm here is to serve the public. Why I'm here is to serve the pensioners who have worked for 35 years and they need to be paid regularly as at when due. And also the debt I met there was very enormous. But the rest is history now. So I will answer your question by saying it's twofold. Those who see me in the positive light and those who see me in the negative light. So we will definitely have two stories after my departure.
Definitely. And
But however, what I'm sure about is that my conscience is what I hold on to after leaving. And the miracles are there for anyone to see anytime. And thank God that at least most of those civil servants who work with me, one of them today is the Olowo of Owo, Oba Ogunwoye, serve under me as the Director of Finance and Administration. And I have the now Permanent Secretary of that transitional, they call it the transitional board now, because the old pension system has been abolished and they are now doing what they call the new contributory pension scheme. So a new board is handling that, but the old system is being handled by the permanent secretary under the transitional arrangement by government. So I think, did I answer your question?
yeah, he answered my question to a certain stage, but I started getting more questions.
Okay.
Prince Daniel, we need to ask relevant question, which is gonna make life easy.
Okay.
Udo, I like the way you're dealing with things. I like the way that's the way you're a man. That's why you're a man. If anybody wants to be a dog, they're allowed to be a dog on the show. And if you want to be a man, you're allowed to be a man on the show. You can be man enough
Yep.
to do the right thing, guys. So let's do the right thing. Let's do it right. And let's go to Frank Bello and see what he has for us today as part of your introduction, Frank Bello.
Yes, I think, although I've got some questions for Ruben, he's a good friend, but then and at the same time, he knows when it comes to the discharge of my duties, he knows I can be so mean and ruthless. He knows. So there's a bombshell coming for you. Now,
Okay.
I think the first thing I want to highlight, Mr. Moderator, is that I got hold of a particular clip. Although that clip's been in my possession for a while, but I decided I was going to make justice to that on my stream earlier on today. Now, I cannot be tempted to go extreme the way I took it extreme. I think here in this platform, because it is a public domain, I'll be a little bit civilized,
Thank you.
if you know exactly what I mean. Now, that clip was a clip that got into the public domain about the Indians that were brought into Nigeria by Dangote to work at the refineries. Whether that numbers in question was right concerning the figures that was put out to the public as per 10 million unskilled Indian workers brought into the country to work on the refineries. Now, we are looking at a situation whereby we've got Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, going up to India, recruiting Indian people, not knowing that in 2020, COVID-19 will open up their
A can of worm.
problems, the canker worms. Now,
Mm.
what gave the question we have to ask, Mr. Moderator, is this: who gave and who authorized? Even if we're talking about 1,000 or 100 Indians, unskilled, we're talking about unskilled workers that can be locally sourced on the soil of Nigeria. So who authorized those immigration papers to allow those Indian workers to come over to Nigeria to work as unskilled laborers? Now, at what port of entry do those Indians enter Nigeria? Who are those customs and immigration officers that facilitated their entry into Nigeria, knowing fully well that they are unskilled workers? Underscore, unskilled workers. Had they been professionals and skilled workers that are not readily available in Nigeria, that is a totally different ballgame. But we're talking about unskilled workers. So who are those immigration officers that allowed those Indians to pass through our borders and then going into the system? That's number two. Number three, COVID-19 now exposed these atrocities, and we now find a situation whereby those Indians that were brought, whether it is legal or illegal, into the country, are now having to appeal to their Prime Minister Modi and their internal affairs minister in India to come to their rescue in Nigeria. Now that COVID-19 is now exposing everything, because they complained of the food they were served, that the food is not even fit enough for an animal consumption, talk less of humans. And I think that is an area we have to really look into tonight, and perhaps on other areas. I'm sure Olayomi Koiki will look into COVID and some of the problems we're having to face, and those that collapse in Lagos today in front of an ATM bank. And at this point in time, I will hand over back to you at the studio.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I'm gonna go to Olayomi Koiki to give us some introduction offer of what he has to trade on today.
Thank you once again, moderator, and to other the speakers out there. I think when we look at Africa and Nigeria as general, the question has always been. Again, I had opportunity to allow my viewers this afternoon to just get a little bit of conversation between a mother and a son, which was broadcast live for people to see, which is still on the thread. And I asked my mom, so many questions, but the one that really triggered me is when she was able to travel for the first time as a young lady to Geneva because her boss was seconded, as the OPEC, general. And now in 2020, we'll now, if I reflect back to when she was telling me what it looks like and how things was running, and we're talking about, I'll try and get the name of this individual that never collected, bribe, because bribe was not something they wanted to put forward as a legacy. Just like my brother spoke there, that he wanted, he worked in that state but left with legacy. But the problem now is that a lot of people have been asking, how did we get to where we are? We got to where we are because we thought we had so much money, and so much money that we were bringing in everything, rather than building things that would now have had a lot of impact to us, the next generation in 2020. But if we continue like this, how long we have to survive will be a big problem. How long do we have to be able to contain the situation? Because the situation is going worse, whether we like it or not. And we can blame, the leaders, we can blame ourselves. But one main reason that still comes back is the foundation. Was the foundation right? Because as we all know, we saw the building that collapsed in Imo State about a few weeks back. I've given an example about the young dancer that got killed because the system was not working in Nigeria. And as of today again, news, I can see another 311 million US dollars of Abacha loot returned back to Nigeria. That's only if that money, get back into the system to be used properly. But one thing I can see now is we are all engaging. The message is getting there. It might not be as much as we wanted to go into all the rural areas. We can see the politics being played. And I'll go back to you in the studio. But before I do that, I will also give you what is trending on Twitter as we speak right now. Because those are the tools that we are using to communicate. And those messages keep getting back to the government, whether in Nigeria, in Ghana, it doesn't matter. And sometimes they might call it fake news, but it will not be a fake news if we see the reality of Alimajiris that are now being moved from one end of the country to the other. I mean, we should have done better, not when things are getting worse now. We're now trying to diversify our economy. What has happened when, like I said again, in 1979, when my mom first took her first trip, as a secretary of Mobiloy to Geneva, and now what has happened? What has changed? That same crude oil that she was part of, that generation. Wow, Nigeria will be a better place. I'm going to give back here. And they were all doing well. All of a sudden, in 1992, she said to herself, it's time to get out of this country because there's a problem looming. And that problem, as at 1992 that she left, has never been resolved. And I hope we will be able to touch on some of the nitty-gritty tonight as well again. I will hand you back again to the studio.
Thank you very much, Alaimikoke. I really appreciate your in-depth analysis and information you pass on there. Guys, please do me a big favor. Share this one. We need to get it up more. Share it. The phone line will be open in a bit. It might not be in the next half an hour, but we will definitely open the phone line, because if you open the phone line now, we will not be able to do any discussion. And if we don't do discussion, we keep repeating our questions, then there's no point in doing that. So please share this one, like the page, and do anything you can do to get this one up drastically. Like I said, the phone line will be open later on, and we will now go through the phone system in which people can actually ask direct question. I'm gonna go to Fatai Ogbonibido, who is waiting for us in Tottenham, not London. Fatai, anything you want to say to these people, or what direction are you going tonight?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. And I welcome everybody tonight again. I just pray that we will be able to pass across some of the very important messages that we need to pass across about how we've been made to live a fake life in Nigeria as Nigerians, whereas we are just nobodies down on the floor, while the kite or the supersonic aeroplane of Nigeria flies from a continent to continent over us, cutting away the resources of Nigeria, while we are just here walloping in extraordinary poverty. And the same story we were talking over 40 years ago, the same story of Nigeria over 60 years ago still remains there today. So, and then all we just want to do tonight is to make sure that as we speak, let people listen, let them share this video, and let us educate our people, and let them educate us. Those things that we don't know, let them tell us. Those we know, let us just communicate to them so that at least we can hold the bulls by the horn to make sure that we effect a workable change right now by empowering people, motivating them into positive action, not in terms of protest or anything, but setting their brain into a starting point of operating from a different perspective of how Nigeria has operated, that it has been a fake nation since independence, which is the reason why no one cares to develop, no one cares to bring infrastructural development, no one cares about electricity, and then yet we speak in trillions and in billions every day, and the man on the streets today is actually in serious pain, in agony. And then let us just try as much as possible to let Nigerians understand that Nigeria is a fake nation, especially southern part of Nigeria has been completely deprived of the right to have their destiny being held by themselves. And the time has now come. Otherwise, what is staring at us in the face, as I'm not trying to sound alarming, but well, we are waiting to see what is staring at us in the face is real doom of mass suicide in Nigeria, frustrations everywhere, and yet billions upon billions of naira are being discussed within the elites that control the destiny of Nigeria. Let us wake up from the slumber and let us hold the bull by the horn, and let us try to hold our destiny by making sure that from now and henceforth, the dual nation, which is my hope, in which my hope rests, takes off, so that Yoruba nation can prove to the world what we are made of as people who are forward-looking, well motivated by education, well enlightened, well traveled, well experienced in every aspect of life, controlling the entire economy of so many worlds with our expertise, with our talents, with all our resources that we have in terms of human resources. These are resources that should stay in Nigeria to develop Nigeria, but being frustrated to travel out to go and develop other nations. And these are the reasons why, as a region which actually shares the part of those who produce these talents, let us use those talents to better our life and let the frustration that is actually raging within the status of Nigeria, let that frustration let it stop now, so that we start to set our minds towards developing and do a nation.
Okay, thank you very much for that, sir. I really appreciate that. Somebody is telling me there's no sound. Uh, this platform is not a cardboard platform. It's a well-established platform. If there's no sound there, I will see on my meter that the sounds are not getting out. If you want to be part of it, please contribute constructively. Don't try and disrupt. And if you want to be antagonizing things, I will not hesitate to actually kick you out. It means you're not part of us, and you're not fit to be in this house. Okay, down to the business of the trade of the business of the day quickly. We're sick and tired of talking about this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do, and that's what we need to do. That is not the time. This is not the time for all that anymore. The time now is that what are we doing? Enough of what do we have to do, what 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 we have to do. You can say what we have to do from now till thy kingdom come. And you can keep postponing things and saying it's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm gonna do that. Until you take the bull by the horn and drag the bull there and say, this is what I'm doing. What are you doing to free yourself from slavery? What are you doing to be part of this movement? Whether as a Biafran or as an Oduduwa person. What are you doing physically? What are you doing? Because what you're doing physically is the most important. You need to tell people about what you are hearing here. what you're hearing on other platforms. What's been going on? If you ask people that doesn't know anything about what is going on here, if you ask them about what do they know, they will tell you they don't know anything. But you know something, why can't you spread the news? And the good thing is that this is not the only platform making noise about this. There's too many of us making noise about this. So why can't you spread the news? If you don't like everything, you can spread other people's platform. As long as we get there. Get there. Getting there is the most important thing. It's not how we get there. And we have to get there. We have to try and get there. There's Shima CC says there's no sound. If you cannot hear me, Igwe Davidson says there's no sound. Are you sure there's no sound?
There is sound. There's sound coming out.
Somebody has actually answered them that they need to check their system because it's not many people are hearing it. Okay, so one of the first things you need to do is to use word of mouth to tell people about it. Let them realize what is going on. Word of mouth. Share it. Invite others to watch the broadcast. Not only this, the good thing is that we're home now. We're not going to work. And people that are working, they work from home. Some few people go to work. Like me, I work from home now. Right? Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. And we can pass on the message more, because the most important thing is passing on the message more. Letting people know about what is going on. Letting people know where we are, where we want to go, where we're going. And if we ever stipulate the route we're going to take, tell people the route we're going to take. So that they, instead of going towards the west, they're not going towards the east. Instead of going towards the north, they're not going towards the south. That's what you need. I can send you that picture if you want. So it is not about us. It's about our nation. Because it's not nation anymore, it's nations. So tell people, invite people to the program. Let us drive it hard. Let's drive it home. Seriously, drive it home. Drive it home so much that everybody knows about the struggles that we're all going through. So today, we're not talking about what are we going to do. What do we need to? What are we doing? What are we doing? So we're gonna open the phone line, thank you very much, guy. It's clear and loud. Yeah, we're probably gonna open the phone line so that people can say, this is what I'm doing. I don't want you to ask a question. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I've been sharing the program. I've been telling people. I've been fighting for this cause. I've been making sure that things happen. And this is one thing that I want you to do. Right? Not about. I know what Frank is doing. He's making a lot of noise. Is agitating on the internet. What about people that doesn't have internet? What are we gonna do about it? So many people doesn't have internet, especially the people back home. They don't have internet. Word of mouth. Did you hear about the UMPO thing that Biafrans and Oduduwa people have just gotten? When you call them, when you send them money, let them realize it. Last year before the election, some people cried and said, please tell your people, don't take all those 5,000 naira they're going to give you, because you're going to pay for it later on. You're going to pay for it later on. So, but you didn't tell them enough. Buhari rigged the election. You made Buhari rig the election. If nobody vote for him, he will try to rig, because he won't know. He will rig 20%. Because in most cases, what you rig, you cannot rig 50% of an election. You cannot rig 50%. You can rig 20%, 30%. But if nobody vote for him, what happened? He will rig the 20%, 30%, and at the end of the day, you find out he's lost. Have you ever seen somewhere where people rig 100% election before? It's not possible. People who have been on the ground. Olayomi Koiki was on the ground. Olayomi Koiki, let me come back to you. Can someone rig 100% election? Let's hear from you. Can someone rig 100% election?
in terms of the rigging, it comes from different angle. I remember, and like you were just saying today, I was looking at my itinerary that took me to Nigeria on the 13th of February 2019, with the hope that the election will be held on Saturday, the 16th of February 2016. And, I was prepared, I was ready to capture the moment, because that was my first time of witnessing and being on ground officially to see how the election is, the election process goes by. And I remember the next day I went to Yaba, the INEC office, a lot of rowdiness there. I was able to pick up my accreditation badge. And Friday, I was still engaging with the people online, telling them that by Saturday morning, we'll be heading out. And I remember at about 1 a.m. or 12, I started getting a bit of message that maybe not, something is not right. I wasn't sure what it was. But all of a sudden, just before 3 o'clock in the morning, an election that has been prepared, that has been engaged, a lot of stakeholders, not just only in Nigeria, even the diaspora and millions of people that are not even Nigerians. And I couldn't understand when I saw the official message saying that election now has been postponed. And right there, I knew that that is the end of that election, because if an election that we have been told money has been spent. So going back to your question, can election be rigged 100%? Well, I could tell you from what I witnessed, I was in Nigeria during that. A lot of people that came home, I could not even stay, those that wanted to vote. But what I would say is, what I saw during that election, we still have image, we still have recordings that we've not even, released out. They might say that that election was free and fair. They might say that election was not rigged, 100%. But that election itself was destabilized on that fateful night that that election was unplugged. And what do I mean by that? I have a laptop screen. I have a laptop on my right-hand side here. And if that laptop doesn't have a good battery, and I remove it from the power, what do you think is going to happen? It shut itself down. So, can election be rigged? 100%. Yes, if those that knows and that can manipulate it. I just gave you an example during my introduction that I went to a community during the government in Lagos, but we moved to Abeokuta to witness, the conduction of the governorship. And I can remember one of the estate that I was told is more civil, where we were observing the polling unit. Someone came to me and accused us of what were we doing with a mobile phone recording in front of the process. And I said, we are live, and we are broadcasting live. And he said to me, does it necessary that the first question was, are you from OGBC? I said, no. Are you from NT? I said, no. I did give them my own brand and the name of the platform we are working with. And that individual, that according to that estate, I was told that is one of the best estate. I think it's somewhere in between the Obasanjo Library within that area. And the gentleman was furious to see us attending that coverage, asking, why do we have to be there? In terms of, this is a governorship election, we don't have to be there. And I'll try and bring that video so that we can play that, one of these days when we're having a program. And I was surprised because right there, it could be also an agent to destabilize the whole system. So transparency, does happen not just with people that think. People always say, oh, some people have collected 5,000 or 2,000 or 1,000 naira. Right there, that process was almost going to be, kind of dismantled by people that are, according to what I was told, that those that live in that particular polling unit are well civilized, well educated, but they almost truncate that polling unit. And you can only imagine other polling unit, the ballot box was stolen and all that. So yes, like I said, election can be rigged 100% for those that knows around and what to do.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that, Olayomi. It was nice hearing from you. Frank Bello, or should we go to Nigeria first? Let's go to the gentleman that was here. He has a lot of experience and went back home. He's seen a lot of things. So compared to here, sir, what do you think? The elections in Nigeria, fair or unfair?
Um, I would
You know,
say
people are out there to judge you. So they're watching your mouth closely now.
we have not grown to that stage where election will be free and fair in Nigeria. I'll give you my own from my own experience when I joined politics. When I went back in 2009. I was to contest for the State House of Assembly in 2011. So I made consultations, went to my leaders, visited a lot of people to tell them my vision. One thing, most elections are rigged before the day of the election. You see, if you leave the rigging, if you say rigging, wholesale rigging, that is 100% rigging, cannot take place on the day of the election. There are always a lot of manipulations behind the scene before the day of the election. However, with the introduction of um, the
BVM?
card readers,
Yeah.
when Jonathan brought that in, it reduced to at least a minimum how far election could be rigged. However, even with the card readers, that also can be manipulated with the connive of what do you call them? The electoral umpires who are supposed to be neutral. And it depends on how far you have been able to manipulate before the day of the election, before the day of the election. Because there will have been a lot of, and it depends on the area. Say, for example, your stronghold. If you are in your stronghold as a party man, you will have, a lot of money, or what do I call it, inducement will have taken place, promises, counter promises that, if I get there, this is what I will do and you will do. So that will give the party leader in that area the opportunity to sell something to them behind the scene that, look, this man, if he gets there, he has promised he's going to do this, going to do that for us. So he is the one we have to vote for. So definitely, all overnight before the election day, you will have gone around and, done all your manipulations, I will call it, or inducement to actually change the minds of people. And that's why they say 24 hours is a very, very long time in politics. You can do anything on the night of the election. So on the night of the on the night of the election, on the eve of the election, definitely you don't sleep. So there will be, different exchanges of money and things like that, and that is actually what influences the election on the day of the election. So, like when I got there, I was a UK returnee, that wanted to actually serve my people. Genuinely, I did not have that money.
Did you say you want to
But I
serve your
went and
people?
went round. Sorry? Yeah, to
Did you
serve
say
my people.
you wanted to serve your people?
Yes.
Okay.
That is by representing them at the State House of Assembly. Considering my background from here in the UK, an MP who represents his constituency would do a service and make an impact. That was my intention. But when people now see my manifesto, what I presented to them, they felt this man is here to do genuine work. But what about the party leaders? I was told by some of them who are even frank that they have gotten their own people, their own person who is going to serve there. So there's no how, because I'm too late. That's the word, too late. And when they probably tested my pocket and they saw that I wasn't forthcoming with, because there was a meeting I attended when their primary was to be held. I went there with my wife. I was told point blank that for me to win that primary, I have to bring 10 million naira. And I said, where will I get 10 million naira from? And they showed me the list of the delegates who are to vote for me, that they have the majority of those delegates. So 10 million is what they needed. So I asked them to give me, and it was just the week of the primary. So Sunday, the primary was to be held on Thursday, and I had this meeting on a Sunday. So I have to rush down to Abuja, my wife, and this, even to the extent that people were telling me that whatever resources I have that I have to do, I nearly sold my car. But I called my wife and I said, this is madness. Why would I give some people sitting down somewhere 10 million naira? And like I've said, the 10 million I didn't produce cost me that primary. All is history now. So when you get to the landscape of Nigerian politics, it is then you realize that most of the things that brings corruption, that breeds corruption, starts from the grassroots. I'll give you another typical example. In 2016, when PDP was thrown out of power, it was not that APC was that popular, but there was money on ground. And I know state governors that brought, what do you call it, the one you find in the Bodilon Road, that brought it,
Van.
Bullion Van, to Akure and positioned them, and from there money was being dished out. Everybody in Mr. Frank's town in Akure, and that's what today they call it Owo Isebe. 5,000, and that's what they bought votes with, and that's what made Akeredolu to win a landslide in Akure.
Okay,
It's an
let me
open
stop you
secret.
there for now, because we're getting proper education tonight. I don't know whether the people at home agree to this. We're getting proper education tonight, and if you give them 10 million pounds, naira, before the election, and is that why the people in the house get paid so much?
No,
So, as a
that's
senator,
not.
how much do they get
No,
paid?
that is not the reason. The reason you will only the answer to your question is that why they fail to deliver
No, no,
with
no,
the
no.
with the
That
amount
wasn't
with
my
the with,
question. My question was that, number
okay.
one, is it because they have to put so much money in? That is why they have to pay them so much money. And my next question would be,
No,
well, if I have paid you 10 million pounds, I have to find my 10 million pounds back.
that's exactly what I'm saying. That when you said the amount of money they are paid is not fixed by them, that was the amount they are paid is is a legislated sort of a decision made by the National Assembly Service Commission, which was established by law to regulate the payment, the allowances and the benefits of the senators, the House of Rep, and also at the state level, the State House of Assemblies. So the reason why people spend much money, the way I will answer your question is that the way people spend money is that they have the hope that when they
Of
get
rigging.
there,
They will make
yes, that
themselves
is why
millions.
they go out of their way to rig the election, so that knowing fully well that once they are able to get the ticket, they are guaranteed for another 4 years to be able to earn that fabulous amount of money, and they will be able to recoup their money back. So that has been regulated by law, what they earn, their furniture allowance, their what do you call it, vehicle allowance, house they are going to live, and everything is paid for already within that
That 4
allocation.
years.
So, say for example, the senator will tell you he only earns 750,000 naira per month. But what about the allowance of 32 million, which is supposed to be used for different constituency projects and things like that? But is that money used for that purpose? No.
Hmm.
Why? If you ask me, why? If you ask me, the reason being, if you have gone to election and I spent 1 billion, for example, to win that election, the first thing I will do, if, say, for example, I borrow the money, sell properties, which is normal thing that politicians do easily in Nigeria, sell their properties, go and get loans at higher rate, and then win the election. Then they are guaranteed that when they are there, they'll be able to earn more than 1 billion in 4 years. And they'll be able to spend that money, first of all, recoup whatever they have spent, and then whatever is left, they will do whatever they want to do. That is part of the things that is wrong in the system. Because our people are bought over, they buy votes from people. It is not a free fair. That's why the word free fair is not yet in our calendar.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
So
you very much for that. Yeah.
that's the way we answer that question. So the
Okay.
reason why they fight tooth and nail, go to any length
To get
to
there.
win an election, is because they are sure that when they get there, that money is waiting for them there.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I really enjoy your analysis. And one of the things we were discussing with Professor Banji at Kitoy is that when the new things get there, when we finally get to our own union, when we finally get our own union, people are going to be servants, not masters. So the kind of money they will be getting now, right? I don't care what the politicians want to do because I think it's too late for them now. They've messed up so badly. So they're not going to win this anymore. They're not going to get there anymore. And one of the things we want to do is that when we finally get there now, right, the kind of payment they're going to get is going to be different completely to what they normally get before. Because one of the things we're going to do is that we're going to do something that will tally the payment of politicians with the payment of civil servants. I don't know if Frank want to say anything about that.
Yes, I think Mr. Akintunde, my good old friend, uh, said it all, knocked everything off in the head. But I have a question for Ruben. And that question is, why is the political system in Nigeria so filthy and corrupt?
Can I answer? The first answer to that would
Yes,
be
yes,
poverty. Poverty.
poverty.
Hello?
Now,
Yes, poverty
yeah,
is the cause.
yeah, right. So when you know, Ruben, that
Mhm.
poverty is the root cause of the problems in our country,
Mm. Mm.
who are those that created the poverty in the country?
Right. If I take you back to 1955, Awolowo was in government as the premier of Western Region. He
Yes,
established a system of free education, free health services to people
correct,
under 18 years old. Yes?
correct,
You and I will have been a beneficiary of that,
that correct, correct,
of that system. Right. At a
correct.
stage, somebody mentioned something there before that at a stage, in those days, if I ask you, was there anything like oil or petroleum in our country? No. How
No,
did
we don't
Awolowo
know. We don't
manage?
know whether oil existed. No, we never knew oil
Exactly.
existed.
Okay, all right. Awolowo used the cocoa because
Yeah,
my old late father, was a produce buyer and the secretary of the cooperative in my locality, in my area, representing the co-ops, the cooperative that Awolowo founded in that time. And he was the secretary. So I know much about cocoa and all these things, how it comes from the farm. That people will even come, borrow money, and pay back with their food, with their farm produce when the produce comes in. Awolowo was able to manage the free education system, and most of us were beneficiaries that we went to school. Now, these days, the government will have, at a stage in 1970, in the early 70s,
yes,
when oil came, that was what part of the thing that caused the Nigerian Civil War, whether you like it or not.
yes,
Yes, that
definitely.
was part. Yes. So anyway, Gowan said we have too much money that we don't know how to spend it. I'm sure probably you will have read that quote somewhere.
No, 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 no. Let me quote it as Gowon said it. The
Okay.
problem of Nigeria was not money, but how to spend the money.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. How to spend it. To the extent that
Yeah,
places like Dubai, United Arab Emirates came to borrow money from Nigeria, then we refused them. Today,
yeah, we refuse them.
yes, we refuse them, thinking that how are they going to pay back? They have not discovered anything at that time. But today now,
Yeah,
UAR can even give us grants, not loans. So that is how they have turned their economy around. You know what brought about the issue of poverty or corruption in Nigeria is that when in the 80s, when you graduate, a job is already waiting for you.
there's job.
Okay,
Yes, yes, automatically.
there's job for you. When you graduate, there's already a job for you. The job you will get depends on what your grade was. Either you are
Yes,
1 1 2, 2 1 or 2 2. But
or two.
today,
Yes,
a graduate in Nigeria now will spend 3 million to find a civil service job in Nigeria. That, quote me, I know at least those who pay more than 2 million to get a level 8 job in the federal ministry. So tell
now
me,
that in fact
how would that
that is
person,
now Ruben. Ruben,
yes,
that is now taking
yes,
us. I'm sure the moderator is going to give us this time because I deliberately
okay,
twisted you to go and then come this way. Now, that is
okay.
now taking you and I into this terrible fine mess of how Aliko Dangote neglected his home country only to go over to India to recruit and then brought in unskilled workers into Nigeria to work on his refineries. How do you explain this?
The question is, you were asking a question that time. You said, how did they come into Nigeria? Is Aligu Dangote not a power in himself? A power that can buy the government at any time and get his way. When you are asking about the immigration, who allowed him in? The immigration at the airport are not to be blamed. The immigrations at the port of entry are not to be blamed. But there are some people sitting down in the office there, deciding on what happens. They only give them instruction. There are 50 Indians coming in today. All of them must enter without a proper documentation or proper checks. And that's what happens. So they are acting on instruction. So it is instruction from the top cannot be queried in Nigeria. No matter what you think you are, once an instruction comes, either from the presidency or from the interior ministry, that's why you see a lot of people who are corrupt. You see, there's a lot about the structure in Nigeria. That one, when
I
Mr.
think
Okudo,
I think I'm going to hand over to the studios because I think our time is up. So I'll hand over back to the studio.
Okay.
okay,
There's
there's a
one
lot to be
thing.
said, you know.
There's another thing we're gonna take notes now. When we
Mhm.
finally get there, we're gonna have to have a department that deal with whistleblower.
They have created that, but they are not funding it.
Oh, I think Yomi Quick, you want to say something. Yomi, 1 second. 1 second. Let me put your microphone back on. Okay, go ahead, sir.
In terms of those individuals that have been brought to work on this particular project, I mean, like Frank Bello said that earlier on, I'm just looking at lonelyplanet.com. This was 9 years ago. It was posted. My Indian, it says here, hi, I am an Indian. My company is sending me to Nigeria for 2 years. The review of the country over the internet is very worrisome. It speaks whole negative and put up serious concerns about the life and security. Please advise about the threat to life. I've heard that one can't come out of their homes in Nigeria. The looting is common feature. Even looters enter the homes and gunpoint loot the people and killing someone. Also, no big deal of the people there. Roads aren't safe for travel. Please help me out by providing answer to my concern. Let me just quickly, I put out the link there for those that are watching us on our timeline on Heritage. You can be able to also click on that. But I want to see what the response of to that message. And the response says, there is significant Indian community. There are dangers, as you mentioned, but they can be overstated. If you have been there a few years, you probably have close shaves, but also you probably survive. It is expensive. So, which shows that there's a setup somewhere in India working with that project that allows people to be brought in. And I'm sure we can ask whether they have the right documentation. I mean, if somebody's saying they've been offered a job for 2 years from India to Nigeria, and this is 9 years ago, when we have millions of Nigerians that can do that same job, your guess is as good as mine. I go back to you in the studio.
Okay, it is worrisome because we're saying we have a lot of employment in Nigeria, and we have this job, and they are bringing foreigners in to come and do the job. Fatai, you might have to do justice to this one.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Actually, a lot of things that has come up during this program, and which I will have to actually put my own opinion. First of all, let us just bear something in mind. Our mindset now is how to change the structure that is currently existing in Nigeria. By doing what? By getting our destiny back from those who have hijacked such those destinies, both in physical and spiritual terms. Now, in physical terms, because we know the problem that we have been facing. In spiritual terms, in terms of the way people have been so seriously devastated emotionally and mentally. Now, the first issue that was raised was about how election is run in Nigeria, whether it is possible to rig election in Nigeria.
100%.
Honestly, this is not an issue we should be discussing now, because every right-thinking person in Nigeria knows that Nigeria is on auto drive. And for that reason, the gangsters that have taken over Nigeria, those who have turned Nigeria to animal kingdom, who doesn't care about that entrapment called Nigeria, whose whose concern is only about how to loot the nation and sell that country to the outside world for their own benefit. And for that reason, making the country completely disorganized. Those are the things we should be concerning ourselves about now. The reason why election rigging is so commonplace in Nigeria is because there is no rule of law. Because if there is rule of law, there will be no legalized manipulation which has been operating within Nigeria. Those who want to rule Nigeria know what they are doing, and they know the best way to go by their preoccupation. And this preoccupation includes the monetization of politics in Nigeria, and try to find a way, reading through our mindset, that as a money-loving people, they create, a very small percentage of the people. They empower them with monetarily so that they can control their mind against the people and against the nation. This is the reason why in southern Nigeria we are victims of this illogical manipulation, wicked manipulation. It is deliberate. Nigeria is on auto drive, and what is driving that that means that the ship of state is the oil money which they are distributing, and the interest that anybody has in Nigeria, both foreign and internal, is the money coming from a southern part of Nigeria. So if the money is available, they try to make that money to be. That's the reason why our house members are seriously spoiled with billions upon billions that they rake every year. So if there is lack of rule of law, which has now given birth to legalized manipulation, elections are pre-planned, and the results are even pre-planned. And this is the problem that we have to be tackling. And so we are talking about the routine of election. My brother earlier spoke about the issue of how money was being distributed. What about the underage Almajiris that were brought in from Niger and Chad to come and vote in Kano last time? This is part of the tactics they use. And we have to think about the chairman of the Electoral Commission. When the presidency, the incumbency has to elect the chairman of the Electoral Commission, I mean, that goes to show to us that the direction of the result of the election will go the incumbency way. We have only been fooled. So if you accept it, and at that stage of such a chairman being elected or being chosen by the ruling president, and the nation stands hands folded on their chest or standing akimbo and looking at the scenario as it is playing, when the result of the election is announced, then why do we have to complain? Because to start with, the responsibility of choosing of the chairman of the Electoral Commission has to reside with the nation itself, and that is the assembly, and there must be consensus in the assembly. There must be voting. But if the presidency that goes to show you the system in Nigeria is completely a fraud, and 200 million people are being, wickedly manipulated without knowing. They play on our mind. That is why they dish out all this propaganda, blackmail, a lot of things. So we are just playing into their hands. When it is monetized, it gives way for rigging. When there is Almajiris being brought in, those who should be looking, like the media, they are bribed. So we are only able to see all this through the social media in recent years. So then the problem is when they introduce the resource control and they allow the resources of the nation to circulate within, a small number of people. So those small number of people, the power that be will be able to talk to them, to manipulate them, to incite them against their own people. Because when they are comfortable, they don't remember about the other people, about their people anymore, because they are extremely rich. We can see how the Melaye, exhibited his loot. So the standard Melaye is living, that is the standard of every senator in Nigeria, whether we like it or not. Whether they expose themselves or they don't expose themselves. So it's like God is even using Melaye to allow the entire Nigerians to understand the opulence in which many Nigerian, whether House of Reps or whether senators, are living in. These are the realities. And if we can see the level that Melaye is distributing, showcasing his way, and we cannot criticize it and understand that Nigeria is in serious auto drive, then we are just deceiving ourselves. And when we are talking, see what happened in Lagos, the touts looting every police station and destroying. So that's part of the problem. So to round up the issue of Dangote, we cannot. The system is a fraud. So that is why we should be concerning ourselves about how do we get ourselves out of this entrapment. We are in a trap. We are chained as South Nigerians. Let us get ourselves out and find a destiny for ourselves. Otherwise, generations coming, they are going to curse us.
Okay.
For now, that is how I stop.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Is that Frank?
Yes.
Not at all.
It's me here.
Okay. Something just came up urgently now, and I think we need to switch channels and address this. Yeah. Something has just come on the Nigerian Post. Is it called Nigerian Post? It's on Daily Post. Daily Post is a very reliable news organization in Nigeria. Bill Gates offer House of Rep $10 million bribe for speedy passage of compulsory vaccine bill in Nigeria.
There we are.
That is very worrying. I don't know what we're going to do about that, but that is very, very worrying. It's just come up on the wire now. Yeah. And Daily Post is a very reliable thing. The Coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, on Monday alleged that it has intercepted a woman intelligence report that the Nigerian House of Representative leadership was posed to forcefully pass the compulsory vaccination bill without subjecting it to a tradition of legislative procedures. In a statement issued and signed by the spokesman of the opposition political party, Barrister Ikenga Imo Ugoshiniere, and sent to Daily Post in Abuja on Monday, the body urged lawmaker in the lower chamber to rise against impunity.
There we are.
I think I'm going to give it to Olayomi Koiki first. Yomi, should I give it to you first?
I would take on that. Yes, why not?
Okay. Or you want to pass it to Frank first?
Okay, let me pass it to Frank because I've got a call coming through. Then I will quickly come back on that. Yes.
Okay.
Frank. Pass it to Mr. Frank.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, moderator. You see, I am not surprised, Mr. Thomas, that this is now coming to light. Remember, I made it known that there is no smoke without fire. Now, we are beginning to see a situation now that Femi Gbajabiamila, the Speaker of the lower chamber, quickly and ruthlessly wanted to facilitate this same bill for the testing of the vaccine in Nigeria. Now, let's look at it this way. I have said it, and you've probably watched that time over time on my stream.
Yeah.
Let's ask ourselves, and let us be sincere with ourselves. Does an average politician in Nigeria love their own people? See, The slave trade came. The white men, they apologized. They knew it was the wrong thing for humanity. But the black race was even mad at the white man for stopping the slave trade. Then came colonization. Colonization came, and then in 2020, the black man is still blaming the white man for colonization. But countries like Singapore, Malaysia are not blaming the white man for colonization because that straightened their head to think fast. Now, we're beginning to see another area that Bill Gates was unable to utilize the same law in his own country for them to inject people with this COVID-19. Practically impossible in the States. So Nigeria is now the dumping ground. And you see, his first trip to Nigeria that I questioned, that there is nothing called free lunch. Bill Gates' first trip to Nigeria, and perhaps the only trip, he's never been to Africa. That trip that he came was a surveillance trip. When Aliko Dangote's daughter got married, and they were all merriment. They were all celebrating. And Bill Gates knew exactly what he wanted to do in 2020. But just only to see if there are facilities in Nigeria's medical care to take care of the catastrophic blow that will hit the country in 2020. 10 million. Can you see how your own people, your legislators, how they've sold your own people? So they've taken that 10 million bribe because Bill Gates knows it will not be possible to actually get that vaccine done in Nigeria, and which was why your speaker in location 9 then said the moment you are vaccinated, you'll be given your certificate. So that certificate is the certificate that will identify the mark of the beast in you. Many Nigerians, $10 million to your legislators, and they want to quickly facilitate that. That is now bringing me to that question that the black people, they don't love their own people. And I beg to be corrected, because if they do, they will build them facilities, they will build them infrastructures, they will build hospitals, they will build quality schools. What have they done? 20 odd years from 1999 to 2019, 20 years. The children born in 1999, when they handed over power back to a democratically elected government, so they claim, those children are in their 20s now. People like us, like Ruben, like Mr. Thomas, like Mr. Ogunribido, myself. Right now, we should be preparing those that were born in 1999 to hand over to take over the country. What sort of children have they breed in that country from 1999 to this period that will take the aim of affairs from that country right from now for the next 20 years? Because those children that are 20 years today, in 20 years time, they will be 40 years, and they are equally bringing up their own children, and they want to start grooming those children and then prepare those children. Where is my father today? Where is Ruben Akitunde's father today? They're all gone. We are supposed to be managing and then getting those children prepared, because look, we can go at any time. So what sort of future have they prepared for those children. 20 years ago, if the government of the day in 1999 closed their eyes, I'm referring to every one of them now, both federal and states. It does not matter whether you are PDP, you are AD, you are Labour, you are AC, I don't care. But all of you, level up yourself, create a legacy. If it is education, if it is healthcare, if you want to embark on the 4 cardinal programs: health, education, employment, and housing, they can do it. 20 years, perhaps some people will be reaping everything they've done. I'll hand over to you back in the studio.
Olayomi Koiki, what do you have to say to that? Before
Um,
that, can I have
okay.
Kayode Stephen or Jetunde? I've sent you I've inboxed a message to you. Could you call me, please? I've inboxed you the number to call me on. Could you call me, please? Or Jetunde, Kayode Stephen or Jetunde, call me, please. Fire
I
on,
think I think
please.
that I think that, that I think that name rings a bell.
Yeah, it should. It should. Okay, fire on Olayomi Koiki.
The problem is when that bill was put out, you could ask why now when there's so much other problems on the table, and why was it something that was so much important to to Nigerians that are already in a very difficult situation? If the information as it has been put out by COP, which is a coalition for United Political Party, indicate, that means it now verifiable to the situation when Nigerians were asking whether it was the right time to really be talking about that kind of bill. And why is it that other bills that are much more important to Nigerians doesn't get that kind of traction? Again, until we have an open system, and it then takes me back again to that discussion that I was giving you of that post that was there 9 years ago. And during that conversation, it also says there that the media has kind of been gagged. So the media are not giving that open hand, to verify and to look and discuss, so much of this, conversation. But I think, in my opinion, it's not going to be the first time that a kind of bribe or money has been exchanged that affect Nigerians. During the summit of the African that Boris Johnson hosted in January, I happened to be where the Uganda president was having a speech in central London. And one of the past cabinet member of the conservative government, ex-cabinet member that was on seat, said he has seen so many of our leaders coming in and going out and signing in contracts that might not be favorable to Africans. Like I said, this was only in January, which is about 3 months ago. That they've only come down for their own interest, not the interest of the people. And if you look at the conversation and the topic that you have tonight, says, emancipated yourself from mental slavery. It's still part of that because it only boils to people coming in and putting hands into signatory that doesn't have any meaning at all and would have big consequence, along the line. And some of those consequences is what we are facing now. Mr. Frank Velo said, there should be handing over. I mean, I'm in my 40s. I don't even know when or how we would have a country that will benefit. And when I say benefit, some individuals might benefit, but we are talking about the whole picture of the country itself. Because some people do benefit from the system one way or the other. And like I keep saying, even if you benefit from it, you can also die out of it in a space of a second. Because if the system that you think you benefit and you make so much money out of it cannot even save you, and we just saw what coronavirus has been done to that location number 9. I'll go back again to you in the studio.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Olayomogoiki. Someone said, and I believe what they were saying on the wire. They said, "I don't believe that bribe. No American individual or company allowed to bribe outside America. If it's true, Bill Gates will face law in America," which I believe. I believe that. Quite. I strongly take that. Yeah. Okay. Fatah, I want to say something.
Mr. Moderator,
Yeah.
the topic tonight is emancipate yourself from mental slavery.
Yeah.
That guy has demonstrated that trait right now. But I read the comment, and when I read it, I was just shaking my head. What does this guy know about world politics? This is the reason why, you see, what we are discussing tonight, it will benefit those that it will benefit. Because it's like the biblical Noah. When he was asked to build the ark, which will give salvation to so many, when the news went around, it was debunked by so many. And eventually, when everything now came to reality and rain started on season, well, we saw the rush. So right now, Africans are being empowered because here in Europe, we are prone to so many information that those at home are not prone to. Most especially, no electricity for them most of the time. So everything about them is myopic in understanding because the extent of their reach is what they can afford to read every day. And their reason can't go beyond what they see, which actually, in reality, news-wise, they are being underfed. So if now we are being empowered because here we see everything as is playing about the population control of the world and about, as Frank said earlier on, about the implantation of chips, and we are studying this note, and that guy is now holding that opinion that it is not possible, doesn't really understand what Bill Gates stands for in America. Can you tell me specifically?
I'm gonna put you on hold.
Can you tell me specifically that Dangote in Nigeria will be prone to legal problem and whatever he does that will be prone to legal accusation? So let us grow up and understand and save ourselves from mental slavery. This is which is the topic of today. Save your life. Be careful about the injection or the so-called vaccine that is being given to you. It's either you listen or you don't listen. But we have said our own. We've sounded that trumpet. It's left to anybody to understand it.
Okay, thank you very much, Uncle Frank. Yeah, I'm still gonna come back to you. I'm just gonna change the direction of the game a little bit. Thank you, Olaniwaju Ademosho, for sending that in. I'm going to take out Olayomoke for about half an hour, and I'll bring him back in half an hour. Yeah, Olayomoke, I'm going to take you out for some time. See you in a minute. Yeah. Okay. Guys, things are changing direction. We're changing direction a little bit. The reason we're changing direction is that we want to argue this one out properly. And I'm going to be introducing a new gentleman to you in a minute. And this gentleman, we can face ourselves and argue this. He's based in the United States of America, somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where he is, but it doesn't matter where he is. What matters is what we want to do and how we're going to get there. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to hand over to Frank Bello, so that I can be free to do this transition to the new guy. Frank, take over, please.
Yes, I think here I gathered that Abike Dabiri Erewa just tweeted to say that to inform Nigerians that there's a planned evacuation of Nigerians. The planned evacuation of Nigerians will begin this week from the United Arab Emirates, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and so on and so forth. And that all applicants should please check with the various missions for updates and protocols to abide by. May the Lord heal the wound. It was a tweet, and if it is a tweet, this is a serious business. But then and again, I am beginning to wonder who amongst Nigerians will want to leave their comfort zone right now
Thank you.
and then decide to. Do you want to take that up, Mr. Kitunde? Maybe you want.
Okay, yeah, you might probably be able to take that one up, Mr. Kitunde.
Yeah,
Yeah, please let Mr. Kitunde take that up.
I think it's laughable anyway. But the only thing I could understand is those who are to be evacuated are not those who are legally resident in those countries. No, it's not a laughing matter.
No, I'm laughing.
Even if you're not legally resident in the country, why would you want to leave the comfort of a nice place to go to an unnice place?
Because there are some people that were locked out here who came as visitors, as to visit, and also who are probably here temporarily.
I think you're absolutely right.
Out here, by virtue of locking you out here, you must have exhausted all your resources, because in our part of the country here, it's not easy to take somebody for 4 weeks, 5 weeks in your house without any income, without having any money, and they are eating 3 square meals a day, taking on your heaters and all those things. Definitely, they may want to go home. So I think most of the people that are being evacuated are those who have volunteered to go. You remember that at the start of the lockout, the British government, the immigration service, actually said that those whose visas are to expire within this lockout period will be given automatic extension till the end of their visa, until the end of May or something, sometimes like that, that they will be allowed to stay in Britain legally until after May ending, when by that time they will know what exactly is going to happen on the COVID. So, however, having said that, I think, I am not speaking for them, but I think those who want to go, like, unlike those Nigerian, I have some friends who are locked out in Nigeria now, who are British citizens. They have been, going to the embassy or to the airport every day. They are on queue, and they have been evacuated to this place. But I believe those who want to go voluntarily are those who are not legally resident here. And if their visa expired, without them going back, it might have some consequences on them. So, like me now, I'm not in a hurry to go anywhere, because
of course,
nobody's coming to pick me up here, because this is where I think I belong. You see, so irrespective of what anyone will say, that is what I believe. But you see, however, I haven't said that. This is also those people who are in charge of our foreign affairs are not very, very grounded. And if they are grounded, some of the things that is happening to our citizens in China today is bringing about a lot of concerns. And what I can say is that those people going also is not going to be free, like I heard from the grapevine. They're going to pay. Because those who are coming from Nigeria are paying about £500, 495 to be precise, for British Airways special plane that goes there to carry them. So I believe Irewa as an individual and those who are in the foreign affairs, in the presidency or wherever, they will benefit, because those people that are taken there, where are they going to put them? They have to be quarantined for 14 days when they get there. So do they have the resources? So, and that is going to compound the already exhausted
Finances.
services or finances, that, because half of the money that is allocated now, I don't know, only God knows where they are spending it in. If Lai Mohammed could come out and say they have spent 100 million within 1 week, 100 million, where did that money go? The palliative they say they are sending in the this, it has not got into my village. It has not got into anybody's village. Those people you ask now, more especially in the south. So my friend I mentioned about the north, it's a different ball game. So let's leave that one. It's not the subject for discussion now. But we're talking about the evacuees. Why are they going? It's because they don't have resources wherever they are. So they prefer to go home. Even if they go home and die, they'll go and die rather than stay in the foreign country. So that's my take on that, sir.
Okay. Okay, and then whilst the moderator is still tackling that, can
Yes.
I quickly ask you a very brief question that I've been cooking up for you for a while? Would you like to
Okay.
take that
Okay.
now?
Yeah, that's
Right.
fine.
Well, it's my good friend. Ruben is my good friend. You were the chairman of the pensions board.
State pension board.
Now,
Yes.
state pension on those state pensions board. You said you met
Yes.
debt. You met debt when you took over the office.
Yes.
The question I'm going to ask you, and I want you to be very honest with me, Ruben, is who created the debt that you met, and who plunged on those states into such catastrophic decadence, paralytic state?
Okay. Before Mimiko took over, there was. Let me answer questions the way you understand it. In the state pension board, our job is divided into two. One, gratuity, that is those who served 35 years and they retired. There is a compensation the government pays, which is called gratuity. So gratuity, when I say I met debt, the debt I met then was on gratuity alone. What happened was there had been a lot of, you see, before the contributing pension scheme was introduced, it was a free lunch, a free handshake for any civil servant to work for 35 years and be given gratuity, which he did not contribute into. So government will say, okay, you have served me for 35 years, I'm giving you a handshake of 5 million, 7 million, 8 million, depending on the grade where you retired. So once you retire, we will now prepare what we call a voucher. All your record for 35 years will be sent to the department where you worked, and that one will be collated together and sent to us at pension board. We'll work on that files, and then we'll work out your entitlement, which is probably 75% of what you have worked for over the years will be paid, and they divide it, and then they will give you the portion of the gratuity you are entitled to.
A lump sum.
A lump sum. So what happened now over the years? When the government doesn't have enough money to pay those gratuity as at when due, so they'll say, okay, fine, let us start and be paying it to you gradually. So some people may not be able to even get their gratuity before they die. So that over time, the gratuity will be piling up. That is the debt I'm talking about. But on the monthly pension is Also, there are areas there, but that is not as much as gratuity because, say, for example, you retire on level 10. Maybe your pension is just about 35,000 or 50,000 per month. So the government can still afford to pay you, even if they owe you, it will not be more than 2 or 3 months if money doesn't come. Because as they pay salary, that's how they pay the monthly pension. So it's actually done alongside with the salary of staff as they are paid the monthly pension. However, having said that,
So
gratuity.
they're still treated like as they just retired, but it still goes into the civil service.
Yes, they have their separate this, but it's still being paid within the accountant general's office. So when salary
Okay.
are paid, pension follows. Like when I left, at least the pension for Ondo State alone was at least about 430 million for pensioners.
Every month.
So
Every month.
yes, 430 million. Because Ondo State is a civil service state. There's no job
Yeah, I know.
than civil service in Ondo State. So out of that, you have the teachers. Out of that, you have the main civil servant. You have those who work in the parastatals. Then the local government also, which has been separated. The local government workers also. The primary school teachers are paid by the local government service commission. So their pension is separate from the state. The secondary school teachers are paid by the state. So their pension is within the state. So gratuity was the problem. Like I've said, when Mimiko got into office, it met a debt of about 5 billion. And he paid more than 3 billion as at 2009. But by the time we got into office in 2013, because of the lack of resources from the central, which is a system that I don't believe in, that you take 36%, the local government take 15%, and the federal government take 52%. That whatever allocation that comes in is what will be shared between the state, the local government, and the state. So as a result of that, it now takes priority. Which one do we pay first? Is it the salary? Is it the gratuity? Or is the state pension? So sometimes some people will retire, their gratuity will still be lying out there. They will have about 5 million, 6 million unpaid, but they will continue to receive their monthly pension. But even the state is even healthier than the local government. Because local government, that's where you have those who work in the basic hospitals, like dispensary health workers. The local government will have to pay that. The teachers, the primary school teachers, the local government will have to pay that. So their own pension is even worse than the state. So that's why it's been separated. So those debts, the question you ask is, who created it? Subsequent government. But it gotten worse towards the end of the Mimiko administration because the fund that was coming from the center was dwindling down, and it became a very difficult thing to meet those. And then, like I've said, Ondo State is a civil service. And what actually brought about the time between 2010 and 2014, what brought about that is that was when Ondo clocked 36 years of the establishment, 35 years of the establishment of Ondo State creation. So the civil servants who retired in that year alone tripled the number of retirees for that period. So that 3-year period of 35, 36, and 37, there were a lot of retirements. People compulsorily have to retire after 35 years of service. So the money jumped up. And by the time I got out of pension board,
maybe Mr. Guribido has got a question for you. I'll hand over to Mr. Guribido. Mr. Guribido, do you have any question for Ruben before we quickly move over?
Well, honestly, let me explain to you. All this analysis tonight is our past. What I'm looking forward to is, how do we get out of this fake nation called Nigeria?
Okay,
This is
sir.
where we
I'll
are
answer
now
that question.
because the country completely is I mean, we are in trouble. Our destiny
Can,
is being dragged on the mud. We just have to find a way to establish a credible nation for ourselves. This is what I'm concerned with. Because right now,
can I
whatever we are
can I
discussing about the past is just for the past. And the reason why we are
can I
here
answer your
is to make
question,
sure
sir?
that
Can
Nigeria is fake and we can't just continue like this.
Can I answer your question, sir?
I'm listening, sir.
I am in support of a new nation called Ududua or whatever name is going to be given out of the current
Correct.
current geographical marriage. I will all call it marriage of inconvenience. I am in
Right.
Truly.
support of it. I am fully in support of it. However, I must warn us, it's not going to be easy. Because you know why? The sort of political leaders or the leaders we have, let me don't use the word political now. The leaders we have now in that country, most of them are not sincere with themselves. There must be strategy. When we go, let's say in the next 10 years or 20 years, we may not find our feet. You know why? Because we are used to this system of being fed from the central. And that is what has been our problems. So if we go, I am in support. But it's not going to be easy, sir, as you think that when we leave today, everything is going to be rosy or everything is going to be
Now,
okay
my
for
brother,
us.
I understand where you are coming from.
Okay.
I understand where you are coming from.
Okay.
When a country is established on a foundation of fraud, what do you expect? The onus is now
Are
on
you saying?
us to find the onus is now on us to find a way. The most important thing for us now is how to save our people from their mental slavery. Mental slavery doesn't come
Emancipation.
only from
Emancipation.
I know. It's to saving ourselves and emancipating ourselves from mental slavery, which includes the enslavement that we have been as South Nigerian for the past 55 years over, since after the Civil War. And
Yeah.
that's what I tried to explain earlier on, the manipulation that actually characterized our politics in Nigeria. What we need doing now is to make sure that our people are well informed and well motivated to understand what is happening, what is on ground, and how we are completely being depleted if care is not taken. So whatever activity you are giving, nothing has ever worked in Nigeria. And what our people are living on now, as we said earlier, which I've been mentioning during in this forum, which we are now confirming, is that the only money that exists in southern
Oil
Nigeria
money.
is
Oil
the
money.
money being given as salary and wages to all ministry officials, and then the money that we dispatch from here to families back home. The structure of industrialization, the structure of encouragement of business, everything has been completely wiped off. You remember how many companies Odua Group of Company had in the early 60s? How many of them are
Yeah.
remaining now? These are things we have to concern ourselves. The Yoruba nation is a nation that has always been ready. Only divide and conquer is what has been taking us off this course. So we should be emancipating our people, letting them, motivating them about, because right now, the divide and conquer is giving us the trouble because they are being fed with different news about, the fake news of how some people are benefiting from this government. And those who are benefiting for their own sake, not for the sake of generations coming, and not for the sake of those who are dying silently in southern Nigeria now. That should be our concern.
Okay,
What has gone has gone. We need a new water and we need new fish now inside that water.
Okay.
Can you, Mr. Cowdy, will you turn your volume down a
Yes,
bit
sir.
or use an earpiece, please? Yeah, Mr. Cowdy, will you
Am I
turn your
in right
phone
now?
down or use a earpiece?
Oh, okay, let me turn my laptop down.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
how about that?
Yeah, we can't see you, but at least we can hear you. Okay. We're gonna try
Okay,
and throw this one open. You said you don't believe that you don't believe that you don't believe that bribe. No American individual or company allowed to bribe outside America. If it is true, Bill Gates will face law in America. Uh, who should I deal with? Who do I want to team you up with first of all? Should I team you up with Frank first?
Is that Kade Stephen Ojetunde?
Yeah.
that is right, sir.
Yes, yes. How are you? Now,
I'm good.
I thought I read that you complained a little bit about that comment, and I want you to please first. I want to give you the chance to first present yourself, and then I'll take you up on that.
Okay. If you look at the 1977, the Foreign Corrupt Practice Act of 1977 of United States, we call it FCPA 15 USA, is a United States federal law that prohibits US citizens and entities from bribing foreign government officials to benefit their business interest. Do you hear me?
Okay, all right.
The
I hear
Foreign
you.
Corrupt
Now,
Act
hold on.
of 1977.
Yeah,
No American.
I got you. I got you. Have you heard of the problems and issues that Pfizer committed in Nigeria, in northern Nigeria?
Okay,
Have you heard of that?
I don't. I'm not privy to it, so I don't want to say what I'm not
You're
privy
not
to.
privy to it. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'll give you an indication. I'll give you an indication. Sometime in the 70s, there was an outbreak of I think it was polio or something like that in northern Nigeria, in Kano. And Pfizer, a world-renowned pharmaceutical company, piloted their
Okay.
vaccine
Okay.
on
Okay.
the poor people of Kano State. The
Okay.
drugs that were banned in the United States, Pfizer took the drug to
Okay.
Nigeria to be
Okay.
administered to Nigerian children. Now,
Okay.
the drugs were not just taken to Nigeria because it was apparent that, in fact, right up to the time of the investigation, the
Mm-hmm.
Attorney General of Nigeria at the time got entangled in that event, because Pfizer would never have made that happen without not bribing either the governor or the commissioner for health in Kano State. That drug now leaked out, and when it was leaked out, did you know exactly what Donald Trump said? Donald Trump quoted the same law, but then and again, this same law that you've just quoted, Trump quoted it, but then said because that particular offense was not perpetrated in the United States soil, it was very difficult for the American government to administer or police American companies' activities outside the United States. Now, if this bribery allegation that's just been made public is not exposed, it is now obvious, and I have been hammering on this, that Bill Gates want to vaccinate Nigerians. Whether they want to vaccinate the whole world, I don't know about Britain, but I know there is a law in the UK that is out now. But for our legislators to be given $10 million bribe, it's not happening on the soil of the United States. There is nothing the United States government can do to this, because I'm applying the same law that they use on Pfizer. What have you got to say to that?
Mr. Bello?
Yes.
The person that you just quoted now is not somebody of integrity. And then one, your statement, the law that I just quoted now was made not because of anything that happens in the soil of America. The law was being specifically made to able to handle any case of bribery outside the soil of America. So when you're telling me that,
okay. How come? No, hold on. Hold on. You said outside the United States. How come that when the administration of Jonathan then opened up this same Pfizer case, how come the same American government then decided to look into the financial affairs of the Attorney General, only to discover that, only for the Attorney General of Nigeria to discover that the American government, they've dug deep into his own financial affairs, especially how he stole Nigeria's money to take over to the United States, to which Pfizer had to actually hire investigators in America so that they can actually disgrace the Attorney General, because now the Attorney General surrendered, because at the end of the day, when Pfizer opened up all his financial dealings and how he looted Nigeria dry, he had no choice but to withdraw that case of Pfizer disappeared.
If I can understand what you are saying right, what you are saying is that Pfizer looted Nigeria dry, took the money from Nigeria to America.
No,
but you don't tell.
No. I never said Pfizer looted Nigeria. Pfizer, as a big conglomerate, pharmaceutical, bribed Nigerians, because if bribe does not exchange hands, the drugs that were banned in America and Europe should never have been taken to Nigeria to be tested. You
just assume that if the bribe was not exchanging hands, the drug that has been banned in America will not find itself back in Nigeria. You just assumed there wasn't any kind of, nobody can substantiate that there was actually a bribe involved. You know the case of Ali Butty.
Come on, Mr. Jetude. I can give you many instances here. I can give you many instances to which even your current health minister was demanding $600 million from a Polish pharmaceutical company and the Minister of Health in Poland. I'm challenging them.
Mr. Frank, one thing I want you to know is that this law was made in 1977, but the current handler of America today, Donald Trump, is somebody that nobody trusts him. He's a manipulator. He manipulates anything.
No, why don't you trust Donald Trump? Donald Trump is probably the best thing that ever happened to the United States. I'm a Donald Trump man. Make no mistakes.
Mr. Frank, that is what majority of the people that don't live in America, they don't know. The majority of you're one of the I follow you a lot. I know the way you always make Trump to be the best in the world. To be the no.
Okay,
Don't
can
say
I
don't.
can I chip in on this one,
Yes,
guys? Can I chip in on this one?
Okay.
yes.
Number one, we're not gonna talk about Donald Trump today. There's another day for Donald Trump,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Number two, they will prosecute whoever they feel like prosecuting. Anybody they don't want to
Yes,
prosecute, they will always find a way out of not prosecuting
that's
the fellow,
correct.
right?
That's correct.
So, and with Bill Gates' background, right, he paid $79 million for the polio thing.
Yes.
So, it can find a way of give Nigeria, who is starved of cash, 10 million. He can say it's for a project. He can say it's for something. They might not call it bribe,
God bless you. Yes.
you understand? But he will find a way to get the money up to them. And these people being hungry lions and 419 and Yahoo boys before, whatever they want to call them, stupid people that cannot even take a dime to their burial ground when they died, right? They will still buy the idea of collecting this money because all they have in their head is money. Money that they cannot finish spending. Okay, today we have that information about the $311 million one person stole. How can one person stole $311 million? And that's just one of the is rape. That's not all is rape. That's not all. That's just one,
I
a
know.
tiny bit, right? Somebody, I think these people are mad. I think they've gone. There's some psychopath problem dealing with them. If you steal £100 million and you're still making more money, it's not that you're retired, right? And you're still doing it. What's the point? This is what I don't understand. Abakari went and left now. Only God knows how much he has in his bank account. You understand? And people are
Yes,
still
sir.
doing it. I don't know why people are still doing it. Maybe they're doing it for fun. Maybe they're doing it out of stupidity. Or maybe I think maybe his son has suddenly done so much damage into their head. Because you just keep stealing money. For what purpose? You have house in America, you have house in Germany, you have house in the UK. In a year, you can't spend more than a month or 2 months in these houses. And you're still stealing the money. Anyway, I'm going to move on from that charge quickly because there's no point. Some few things are not worth the energy we spend on it. So we're going to move away from
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Thank you very much,
I,
Mr. Coyote. It's
I want to
nice.
say something before I leave.
No, you want to say something before I kick you out? Did you do the channel that I
Okay.
asked you to subscribe to?
I did, and I will go back. Okay,
Okay,
one thing
okay.
I'm
It doesn't
trying to
matter
say is
anyway. Yeah,
that,
yeah. Thank you for participating. Go ahead, sir.
like your conclusion, you said that because I know that your channel got to me through Mr. Frank Bello
Yeah,
because I'm one of the admin people that always log into Mr. Bello's
yeah.
chat.
Yeah, that was why I
So,
said,
uh,
when your name was mentioned, I said, can't receive it on yesterday. That name rings a bell.
yeah, I know. Yeah. So when I saw it, I saw that this channel is mostly in order to emancipate, to liberate the Oduduwa nation from the current contraction
Not not
that we
not
found
not only
ourselves.
the Oduduwa nation, but every nation that wants to liberate itself. Biafrans and Oduduwa want to go. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and I
I
was
know,
speaking to
that is
Midibel
true.
today,
But
and they
the
said
other
they
thing
want
is
to have
that,
their own country too.
like,
So I don't know what we're going to do.
I want us to be, because all this argument of be great, be bribe this and everything like that, that shouldn't be most this channel priority. The
Yeah.
priority is on how to conscientize, on how to raise the consciousness of our people, the Yoruba nation, the Biafra, so that we can get out of this situation that we have. Because no matter what it may be, if we are still with these people in the next 100 million years, Yoruba that already be on the forefront education of development, we will not move forward. I want this channel to be able to come out with a very proactive idea on what are we going to do to get to our people. Mostly, instead of wasting time on brigade, bribe, this thing and everything else, let us be concentrate on what are we going to do to be able to bring that zoo down. I want to get out of that zoo as soon as possible. That
Okay.
is it.
Thank you very much, sir. We like yesterday.
Yes,
I
sir.
promised you guys something, and what did I promise you? I promised you that by the grace of God, before the end of this month, we will have a way for people in Nigeria to listen to this without the internet. And I said yesterday that I've set up a GoFundMe account so that we can put things
Okay.
on the ground without putting people at risk in Nigeria. Because the last thing I want to do is to put people at risk in Nigeria that they will go one day and carry all these people and put them in jail. I don't want that. So we will have to work out a system, build a system, and beam this information to Nigeria via satellite or anything, that the people will not be in Nigeria, but they will be able to listen to it. And by the grace of God, before the end of the week, the app will be back online with a new function, which is the podcast. Podcast doesn't take a lot of our data, so people will still be able to do it. But that's not the end of the day, because some people don't even have they don't even have the internet. And if they don't have the internet, so what can we do? So we're finding a way around that they will have to beam something to them, so that it can actually go straight to their radio. That is what we're working on, and by the grace of God, we will get
Okay.
there, because nothing will stop us.
Okay.
So the only thing I will say is that
Okay.
you guys should please support the GoFundMe account that we just opened, so that we can get there. It was opened yesterday. We're not pushing it yet, and please, the money you want to put there is not the important thing. Your parents, if you have a parents, your parents must eat first before you put money there. Yes, we need the money, but you need to look after your family first, right? We are so many that if everybody do £10 or £5 or £2, it will get there, right? So we're not pushing people to go hungry for this channel. That's not what we're pushing. So please, it is very important. Your own family is more important than anything. Mr. Cowdy, Stephen, or
Yes, sir.
Jetunde, where are you from in Nigeria?
I'm from Awe in Oyo State.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for joining
Okay.
us. Please
Okay.
keep supporting. There's more channels to support. There's Frank Bello. There's my channel. There's Olayomi Koiki. There's Maigun as well. There's
Yeah.
the Biafran channels as well. We can all support one another so that we can push the information out. It is not about me. It is not about you. It is not about Maigun. It is not about Koiki. It is not about Frank Bello. It is about our well-being, emancipation of our mentor from slavery. We don't want to keep acting like an idiot, like a slave, because these people are slaves to money. If you're not slave to money, why will you go and steal money and put it in a sock away? Why would you steal money and put it there? I think they're completely mad. Yeah. Thank you very much for that.
They are not human beings. They are not
Okay.
human beings.
What I'm going to do is this. Yeah. I might probably open the line, but I don't want people to say this is what is wrong with Nigeria again today. I want to see something about this is what we can do to move forward. Mr. Parfum Babalola, I know you're online. I'm going to send you the GoFundMe thing specifically. And I think I sent it to Justin Noah. I thought they said you were in jail. Justin Noah, I thought they said you were in jail, Facebook jail. Anyway, remember our conversation?
I think it was Lizzie Azu that's been confined to jail. Facebook jail.
Facebook jail. not the real jail. Facebook jail, yeah?
No, not the real jail. Facebook jail down.
Okay. Like I said, very soon, Professor Banji Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba World Congress, will be on this channel very soon. We're working tirelessly to facilitate it. So when we facilitate it, it will happen. And when it happens, we will have a lovely time. The good thing about it is that I think I'm going to have about nearly 2 hours with him that day. So 1 hour for interview and another hour for question and answer. It won't be question from me. It will be question from you, the audience. We open the line in an orderly way because we don't want Baba to see us as an orderly person. So we have to do it in an orderly way. So if you want to be part of that, you need to start fashioning your question now. I might have to take some question before that time. Right? I might have to take some question before that
You
time.
try to censor. You try to
Sorry?
censor the question.
No. We won't censor the question. The reason I said that
That's
is
what.
that no, we won't censor the question. The reason being that so that we can do things because one thing we don't want, one thing I find out about our people is that everybody wants to ask the same question. Everybody wants to ask the same question. And asking the same question does not solve the problem. It just wastes time. This is why I said the other day, yesterday I said 30 seconds. If you come on the line online, don't wait for me to ask you for your name. Just say, my name is so, I'm calling from so, and this is my question. I'm gonna have to probably start taking question when it's half past. But I want to hear from our man from Nigeria again. Some people are getting angry. What are they getting angry for? Some people are getting angry. Who is getting angry? Okay.
Maybe.
They're getting angry with Cowdy because they
Why?
I think it's
they said that NEPA has taken your light where you are. Okay, I'm gonna let
They
you
say
go, sir.
what?
Yeah,
They say what?
they said NEPA took your light in America. That's why you are dark, but you're not showing your face. Thank you very much, sir. I'm going to have to
Thank
bring
you, sir.
Olayomi Koiki back. Please, like I said, follow the channel. Follow Olayomi Koiki is very, very important. Even if you don't follow Heritage, if you follow Olayomi Koiki, it will be great because Olayomi Koiki will push everything. It's not about me. It's not about Heritage. It's not about Frank Bello. It's about us, all of us. We need to liberate ourselves. And one of the things we need to liberate ourselves is to do the right thing. Don't forget the GoFundMe meeting, right? We're not pushing it at the moment because I don't think we need to push it too much. We just want people that wants to freely and willingly to do something about it, to do something for us. I'm going to take this gentleman call because it's my favorite on the channel. It's one of my guy on the channel. So I'm going to take his call. He's been calling for some time. So I'm going to try and take his call quickly. And that might be for a few seconds. Don't worry. I'll find him. I'll bill him for this because, how did you do that? Why did you hide your face before and suddenly show your face? Is it because they said NEPA took your light? Now you decide to show your face.
Oh, you see that face now?
I was just about to block your thing before you show your face. Okay, that's him over there. Even though I said to him landscape, he's still putting it in portrait. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. We'll see you again next time. Bye. Okay. Uncle, your question straight away. Go ahead. Ask your question, sir.
Okay. Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Because it's past 12 here.
Okay.
My name is Bright. My name is AJ. I'm calling from France.
Okay, sir.
I want to ask that man that worked with Mimiku questions.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to know if he believes in our struggle to have Oduduwa Republic and the Biafra should have their own republic too. And I want to know from him what did he think we should do to get this thing done.
Okay.
Because he have worked with the government, the toxic government, the Nigerian government. He have worked with them before. Because he have experience, what did he think we should do to achieve this goal? That's my question for him.
Okay. Do you want me to when did you join today? Did you join from the beginning?
Yeah, I joined from the beginning.
And you didn't hear him saying this before?
No.
I'll bite you.
Serious, I'll be here.
Okay.
I remember your first question to him that if he was corrupt, that was your first question.
I know you will remember. Everybody will remember that.
Corruption thing, but I don't want to put there. I don't want to be exploiting Nigerian thing. Let's ask questions on how to achieve this thing. Not
okay. You know what we're going to do about that question of yours, yeah? How to get there. We're going to reserve that question for Professor Banji Akitoye. Yeah? Okay. We will reserve that one to him.
I have other good questions
Yeah.
If you answer this one, I will draft question for Paul because
You know what I would do. You know what I would do, right? Everybody that contribute to that food content thing, I will make sure they get their question in.
Okay.
That might not be the best thing to say, but I will try my best. Yeah, I will try. It might not be the best thing. Seriously, it might not be the best thing because that shouldn't be a criteria. You understand? A criteria is asking the right question. On that day, if you on Wednesday, we have the elders forum. You can actually ask on the elders forum that some of those questions on Wednesday.
Okay,
That one is going to be 8 o'clock, bang on the dot. Elders forum. We're going to have 4 elders here, 4 tangible elders, 4 tangible elders. One of them, he doesn't even know he's coming yet. No, 3 of them doesn't know they're coming, but I'm sure they're coming. So on Wednesday, elders forum on Wednesday. Make sure you get your question prepared and make sure you follow the pages because it's not just page now. Page. Yeah. Not only heritage. Frank Bello is a good one. Mayegun is a good one. Koiki is a very, very good one. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to run now. So let's go to Uncle Ruben Akintunde. Did you remember the question the gentleman was asking, or you forgotten with all my atoto? No. Did you get it? Ruben Akintunde. Did you get me? Can you hear me? Okay, I think I've lost your audio. So you need to come out and go back in. You need to log out.
No. Let him take off the earpiece. I think it's the earpiece.
No, it won't be the earpiece. Okay, take off the earpiece. No. You need to log out and log in again. Or unplug the earpiece. Unplug the headphone. Okay. So he's gonna. I pray that he had what we said before. Today, what should I do? Should I bring? I want Yomi Koiki to come in, but I want to bring Femi Babalola in first for about 20 minutes. All right. I want us to be able to grill Femi Babalola a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Here's Femi Babalola. Okay. And he only has it's 31 past now. If he doesn't come in by 35 past, I'm gonna kick him out. Okay. While we're waiting for Mr. Femi Babalola to come in. Hello, your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, I'm Alex. I'm calling from Manila, Philippines.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
First of all, I really appreciate your good work. You are doing a very nice job. But I want to say something quickly because you said we should make a selection what we should do instead of asking more questions.
Yeah.
So my question goes like this. So my advice is this: that if we can, because sometimes when Facebook, some people are not in support of this struggle, and when they find out that this platform is getting more popularity, they will start reporting it, and Facebook will start fluctuating it. So
Okay.
my question is that if we can, everybody can contribute like $5, like two people to create a radio station that even our people at home.
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. I can hear you, sir. I can hear you.
Our people in the village that they don't have access to
Internet.
can be able to listen to their radio.
Yeah.
Anywhere you can do your radio, hear that you are spreading a message of this glory public, this one. But if it's only internet, it's still a fault that really now God that I have access to the internet.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, another thing is this. If we can, our message will be on, because for us to cripple these people is only civil disobedience. If you can embark on our campaign will be on civil disobedience, that there is no more election in Odudua land. You understand me? There is no more election. We all complain that there is no more election. Let's take the ground, give momentum. And people will feel that there is no more election. You can't tell people why they will not vote. What they have still benefit from the voting. What they we should concentrate on civil disobedience. That's the only way we can capture these people.
Okay.
This is my
Okay. before you go, I'm going to answer you directly as well. Yeah. Number one, in Nigeria, that we people call zoo, right? If you don't vote, it doesn't bother them, right? That's number one. Number two, it's like in a lion den. In a lion den, if the male lion give the female lion, the lioness, just the tail to eat, and the lioness said, "I don't want the tail," you know the lion will still hit the tail as well. He will hit the whole thing and hit the tail, and will not leave anything for the lioness. So we can't do civil disobedience with Nigerian government because they're stupid idiots. So what we can do is to work with the legal requirement of the world legal power, and get to where we're going. And can I tell you the secret? I don't even think if you do it right, like you suggest, the £5, £2, £1 that anybody can contribute to go funding me on the page. If you do that right, that will go a long way, right? We might not even have 2023 election. We might be. I'm praying that we are free before 2023. If not this year,
Yep.
later this year, it will be very early next year.
Yep.
Did you realize that Buhari now want to implement the 2012 800 page that were presented to Jonathan that they put in the bin since? They've gone back to the bin and dust it, and they want to implement it when it is too late already. That's too late. We're not going that route anymore. We don't want no ref. We've passed that stage already. We're not going that route. Anyway, thank you very much for coming. Yeah, I will speak to you another time. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Don't forget to like the page. Like the other pages as well, right? Contribute whatever you can do today, and then we take it from there. Bye-bye, sir. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. We want to welcome Mr. Femi Babalola onto the show. I'm sure the gentleman, Ruben Akintunde, probably know you with the connection that you people might probably have in the past. Have you guys met before?
No.
Ruben? I don't think he's still hearing me. I don't think his microphone is still working.
No.
I think, Mr. Ruben, if you can hear me, take your headphone, take it out, and don't use the headphone. Don't use the headphone. I think it's the headphone problem.
Yeah, I think it is the headphone that is interfering.
So. I was being stubborn earlier. I was a stubborn goat. Okay, we should send the link for the GoFunding. They're asking for the link for the GoFunding. Okay, I'll pin the link for the GoFunding thing underneath. Okay, in the meantime, Mr. Femi Babalola, will you please introduce yourself to our audience against tonight?
Yeah, my name is Femi Babalola. I'm Nigeria. I'm a Yoruba man, 247, a Yoruba man.
Yeah, better.
Based
better.
in Germany and doing my own thing here, but native from Ekiti State. My mother is from a war related to Ondo State and Ekiti. 2-4. So, thank you for having me here. I don't need to say much here. So,
thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to Mr. Fatai Okurido. You know why I keep putting him in the lower chain of the full share? Because he's my brother, and it's not gonna be.
You hear me now?
We can hear you now, but we lost your camera. People are gonna complain that maybe NEPA has taken your light. You didn't authorize your camera when you were coming in. They will say NEPA has taken your light. So let's give it to you. While you're fixing that, I'm gonna give it to Uncle Fatai Okurido first. Yeah, Uncle Fatai.
So what is the question, sir?
I didn't ask a question. What is the best thing to do to make sure we move forward in this our fight and struggle?
I think right now we are online because the first thing we have to do is to create awareness in the mind of our people. We should let them understand what we have lost in the past 60 years of lack of Yoruba nation independence. We love I mean, then in every appearance that we make, we have to be given analysis about how we have been drawn backwards and the assets that we have as a nation, which we have ignored, which we have been deprived of. Only this afternoon, a report is coming out that Amatekuns have arrested Chinese miners in Ilesha, illegal miners, and they are Chinese. So all these things are things we should be addressing about how we are being looted day in, day out in Yoruba land. And the best way for us forward is to create, awareness, motivate people, let them understand, because many of us have been so bastardized mentally through all these rugarized people who have aligned with the frauds that we are having as government. So our concern has to do motivating the people and bringing them from the doldrums that we are now, and trying to find a way, how are we going to actually start restructuring ourselves as a people, how we have to plan how the orientation of Yoruba people, so that we can come back to our senses as a people. All these things are what we should be doing every day, so that most of those people who are following the wrong steps, who are being misguided, will understand what is happening to Yoruba race across the world.
Okay,
That's
thank
what
you
I
very much,
said.
sir. Thank you. Let me take the last word from Ruben Akitude before I let him off, because his camera is not back on. Mr. Ruben Akitude, your advice. Give us your last opinion on this program today, sir.
Full support of the creation of Ududua State. There are a few things we are doing behind the scene that I may not be able to see on camera or in the front burner here now.
Okay.
There are various logistic association, those in charge of finance and other things are being put in place, and that at the appropriate time they will come into the front burner. So I am in full support of Ududua Republic. There are a lot of things going behind the scene, and I can say it that it is not by our making noise alone that will create Ududua State. Somebody, I think it was you that mentioned it the other time, that it's not what are we to do, but what can we do now to make sure we actualize this. Even Mr. Bello will attest to this. I have been part of the struggle, proud, from 1983 when we were in the Nadeco group. From there, we formed the Yoruba Society, the Oduduwa movement in the UK. And I think it was part of those associations that actually brought about Radio Kudrat and the OPC. So all those now are in place. So, and I believe in the freedom of my people, emancipation of my people. I told you the other time, the reason why I went back home to play politics was to see whether I can use that platform to actually emancipate my people. But however, like I said, what I met on ground was different from my perception when I got there. So, like I've said, I'm in full support, 100%. However, we need to get it right before we move into the next stage. If we don't get our logistics, we don't get our foundation right, we may have difficulties when we get to the top. So that's what I have to say at this junction.
I will really want to say a very big thank you to you for what you've done today on the program. You've shed more light into what we're doing, and God will shed better light into your family life as well. It is
Thank
nice
you.
having you on the show today. Thank you very much, sir. And I hope next time we call you, you will answer us. Good night for the day, sir.
Definitely, I will do that.
Bye-bye, sir.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go to Mr. Femi Valola. What do you think we have to do properly? Now, let's start the things we can give out online. The things we can give out online.
We can do a lot if we love ourselves, Love is very important. With love, we can achieve a lot. A lot. Because I don't want to be talking about Nigeria again, because there's nothing we come out of it. I will tell you the truth. And
Thank you.
any moment from now, something may happen in Nigeria. I will tell you the truth. I want to say it. And because if we continue to refer back to Nigeria, it seems that we are just still wasting our time. The our headers, our fathers, our mothers, the young one, and the incoming generation as well. I believe that this is the right time for us to love ourselves anywhere in the whole world, you know, either in diaspora or downtown, to be able to come together and say one voice. With one voice, we can achieve a lot. And because these people that we're talking about, they love themselves, even if they are fighting. But in terms of taking what belongs to us, you won't see it in their face. They always come together and practice their game, and then they know how to play the game. Uh, because if we are not careful, we are not well prepared, it will still be like what happened the time of the Awolowo. And don't forget that in Nigeria today, uh, some of them have married Yoruba. Some of them know everything about Yoruba. Some of them know left and right. Some of them even know our Ifa. They do it. They know it very well. They know how to cause confusion between us. We have Yoruba Fulani, and which I believe that some of our elders that know more than me can try to do something about that. And by the grace of God, we will win the battle. You know. And another thing is this: if it's a war, we will win the battle. I'm telling you the truth tonight. We're going to win the battle. We will win the battle. It's going to surprise the whole world because my tribe, Yoruba, it's difficult for them to act fast. But when they strike, to stop them is difficult, you know. And we should not try again to criticize other ethnic, except these people that we really don't want to be with again. That I will give you very good information tonight. You can see the Cameroon lawyer. They have already blocked his Facebook, Twitter account, YouTube, everything about Cameroon lawyer is blocked totally. They have blocked everything now. They can't reactivate it. You know. And then we too we have to be very careful, and we always be with those people that want to go away from this a country that we call a conjunction country, a land of Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm sorry to use that word, a land of Sodom and Gomorrah. And I believe we can go out from it, and God will help us. And like what the other man says from Ondo State, yeah, that politics in that country is there's no politics in Nigeria. Okay, they are not practicing politics. They practice what we call a madness value system. A
So
madness
gangster land,
value
a
system, and
gangster
they don't.
land.
And again, they don't love their citizens because I joined it from the beginning. They don't love their citizens. If they really love their citizens, they cannot go and bring an Indian to start working in Nigeria. Imagine if they love their citizens, or even some of them don't even love their family. Some of these people they are in the power today in Nigeria. For them to even say that they want to live with their family, and if they got there, you can't even see their break life. So we can be part of those people again. The Yoruba should come together strong now, seriously, seriously, and uh, the leaders and the people in the diaspora must make sure that with one voice we are not going back. And I can still tell you, if they are ready for war, it will shock them. I'm not telling you lies. It will shock them seriously, aggressive. It's going to be so aggressive. They will be surprised. And let me give you good information again. Of many embassies in Nigeria, they have already left Nigeria. None of these diplomats. They have left Nigeria. For you to now know that something is going to happen
They know
in
that
Nigeria.
maybe they know what
It's
is
not,
coming. Yeah.
and it's not about COVID-19 alone. Something is going to happen in Nigeria. Mark it down tonight. Because how come? I don't know. How come this set of people in the power today, they took Nigeria for granted? More than 200 millions. They took us for granted. They fool us. They fool our fathers. They fool the young generation. What these people have done. I think one of the ex-president of the Federation have said that they don't need to be in the jail. They're supposed to be in the fire every day. At fire. They do a very brutal thing that it can happen in the Western world, even in some of the laboring countries in Africa. It can happen. How come? How come it's very bad. Even as I'm trying to speak Yoruba to you, I'm not happy. Tọ́rọ ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí, mi lè kí n ṣọmọlẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo fẹ́ kọ́ bẹ̀ tí wọ́n máa kó èdè bàbá mi àti ìyá mi náà ni. Bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, káwọn ọmọ àbíkẹ́ lára bí máa yí ń sọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Nǹkan tí mò ń expect yẹn báyìí because bígbà tó yẹ pé mo ṣì wà lóko ẹrú ni.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Bígbà tí mo ṣì wà lóko ẹrú náà, èdè bàbá mi kọ́ ni mò ń sọ láti ẹ̀kọ́ náà. Ó dà pé orí mi gan ti fẹ́ ṣe bákan bákan. Bí ìgbà tí mo sọ fún àwọn ọmọ mi lónìí pé ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ má sọ òyìnbó sí mi mọ́. Ìyàwó mi kàn rẹ́ ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, adẹ̀ sọ pé wá ń bí tó bá ti sọ pidgin, o gbọ́dọ̀ sọ òyìnbó pẹ̀lú mi mọ́. Tàbá wà ń tapa fẹ́ bẹ́ òyìnbó sọ a lè bá wọn sọ òyìnbó. Tàbá pé Nàìjíríà la wà ní that is it, don't bẹ̀ sí rẹ́ ni. Tòótọ́ ni because we have lost our heritage. I will still say it this night again. Tàbá mọ ibi tá a ti ń bọ̀, tàbá mọ ibi tá a lọ yẹ ká padà sí tá a ti ń àbọ̀ ṣe máa ń pòwe yẹn ká padà sí tá a mọ ibi tá a lọ yẹ ká padà sí tá a ti ń bọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni because àwọn ará ìbàyí wọn ò lè gbé wá, òrìṣà bò lè gbà mí ṣe bí bó ṣe bá mi.
Thank you.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni because wọ́n ti yẹ ká gbàgbé gbogbo àwọn èdè wa. Wọ́n ti yẹ ká gbàgbé gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń sọ. Wọ́n ti yẹ ká gbàgbé bá a ṣe ń gbàdúrà tó máa ṣe ń gbàdúrà wa. Ọba àwọn ọba tó ṣe é fa tó bí kò sẹ́ni tó lè wojú ẹ̀. Àwa kó èdè òyìnbó tó yẹ pé pàápàá òyìnbó nǹkan pàápàá gan àwọn gan òjò wọn ọjọ́ tó ń bá yọ social security kúrò ní gbogbo bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú gbogbo system wọn tí wọ́n wọ́ọ̀sì ju dúdú lọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹni kan yọ kúrò lẹ́nu yìí kan tẹ̀ yọ kúrò fún just 1 minute wọ́n kan yọ kúrò fún just for only 1 hour or 1 month.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni,
ṣé wàá wò bí gbogbo àgbáyé ṣe máa rí. Kí la wá ń sọ kí ló wá dé kí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wo láṣẹ níbo ni mistake yẹn ti wá níbo ló ti wá níbo mistake yẹn ti wá. Pàápàá ibi tó ti wá ní pé ẹ má jẹ́ ẹjẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ kan lálẹ́ yìí àwọn tó gba independent fún wa wọn ò tó dáadáa selfish interest wọn lọ́ fi gba òmìnira. Because ká ní wọ́n tó dáadáa ni gbogbo ìgbà yẹn ló yẹ kí wọ́n ti make ẹ̀ kó ti lọ ẹ̀kọ́ ti ṣe dáadáa tẹ́ pé a ti mọ̀ pé yes nǹkan tá a gbàgbọ́ rèé ìwọ mo sọ́jọ́ sí ìgbà tí mo wà ní Spain mo gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ èdè ni káwọn náà wá kọ́ èdè bàbá mi àti ìyá mi náà. Ṣebí wọ́n sọ pé gbogbo wọn pátápátá Ifẹ̀ láti kúrò ẹni kan padà káwọn náà kan padà wá níbẹ̀ sí kọ́ èdè wa. Torí èmi mọ̀ pé ní agbára Olódùmarè o. Hello?
Yes, speak on. We can hear you.
No, Mr. Frambello is trying to communicate with me and I cannot hear you. I can hear you. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, because mo rántí during the ìgbà tí wọ́n ṣe campaign tí mo lọ fún campaign 2019 tí mo lọ sí Palace ọ̀nà ọ̀sẹ̀ àwọn wà ní district wọn. Àwọn ìbò kan wá fún láti US. Wọ́n kàn sọ fún mi ní ìgbà tí mo kí wọn mo ní what is my name mo ní Fẹ́mi Babalola. Ó ní come on give me a break.
Fẹ́mi Babalola, because for the advantage of some Biafrans we have online. Because we want to work together.
Because of some advantage of the other people.
Yeah, because of the Biafran,
we want to I understand you, but even the Biafra we are talking about, if they invite you to a party or they invite you to a something, if you are a Yoruba man, I'm not trying to discriminate here. If you are a Yoruba man, it happened to me. The Igbo man will not attend to you first. They will first attend to their brother. They will say Igbo man first, Yoruba man first. Already. So I agree with you, Mr. Moderator. We need to respect our heritage. The Igbo people too, they should try to start practicing this now. Because if not, so we are going nowhere. We are going nowhere. See, look at how Ghana is going gradually. Look at Botswana. Have you been in Botswana? Look at Botswana. Look at Botswana. You know, look at the Minister of the Energy and the Minister of Water and Housing. He's from Sierra Leone. He's from Nigeria. A Yoruba man. You know, we have majority of them in Botswana as well. We have majority of them in Namibia. You know, in many places in all over the world. We are blessed as a black. I'm proud to be a black man. And they jealous us. The people that don't want to, the people that don't want us to live together, they are still on the corridor and trying to analyze how are they going to continue to destroy us. Even Germany is part of the people that destroy Nigeria. I'm not afraid of them. Even Germany is part of the people that destroy Nigeria. It's part of the people that try to sabotage the Ajakuta. They don't make it work. We know how much pain owes Nigeria. That country calling Nigeria. A lot of all these things that is going on in the whole world today, if Nigeria is collapsed today, the world will collapse. And already it's about collapse. I will tell you the truth.
Okay, let's give it to our people at home first. The line is now open. The line is open. Please, if you can, go straight to your question. Go straight to your question. And I'm going to give everybody like 30 seconds. And we'll take it from there. I'm going to pin the number now. Right? Should we do one side call for Frank Taylor?
I think it is open and people can ring 020.
Hold on.
020 81. We've got the first caller. Should I take this?
Yeah, take that one.
Yes. Hello, caller. Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Yes. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Charles. I'm from England.
Charles. Yes. You've got, is it 1 minute or is moderator 1 minute?
30 seconds.
30 seconds, Charles. Your question.
Okay, my question is, what are we going to do to try to stop the bill to forcefully fascinate the people at home, which has gone through House of Representatives? Because even if we're trying to get this done, we have to meet people alive back home before we can liberate them.
Okay.
And secondly, this one is advice. I think it's time to get into actions immediately because there's no time.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Charles. Yeah. Charles wants to know what can we do from the diaspora to stop the bill that is being deliberated at the House of Reps. Another caller, Buki Taiwo. Let's quickly take that.
Okay, pick Buki.
Hello. Yeah, hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, Buki Taiwo.
Hello. My question is, well, it's sort of like a common question. I want to go back with regards.
No, you can't pass any comment because you only got 30 seconds, Buki.
Yeah, no, it's a question comment.
Okay.
I want to go back to the Indians that have been employed by Dangote's
okay.
company. You know, I was on your platform stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, the company that employs those Indians is an Indian company, but that company was taken on by Dangote, because you know it's called the Power Mac Company. The
Yeah.
Power Mac Company is an Indian company. So the fault is coming from Dangote,
Okay.
because what I think happened is he negotiated with this Indian company. The Indian company now brought in their own employers. So
Okay.
we have to go back. The question is what are the terms and conditions between the Lagos government and Dangote?
Terms of
Were there
condition of
any,
employment.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Because it has to be based on the terms and conditions of that contract.
Okay.
For Dangote to build that refinery on our land.
Yes. I'll pass that over to them at the studio.
Okay.
Let's
Thank you very much.
quickly do that. Thank you. Thank you.
What you can do for
Yes.
me,
2
Frank
questions.
Bello, cut the line from your
Yeah.
hand. Let's do it from one side,
Yes,
then
I've
I
done.
can control it quickly. Yeah. Welcome back,
Yes.
Olayomi Koiki. Before I go to that answer, and the gentleman on the line here, welcome back, Olayomi Koiki. Thank you. Do you want to go with the coronavirus information for today quickly?
Very coming out, as we do all know that the lockdown came out of Lagos, FCT, and Ogun State officially. The other states have just been working on their own template compared to what we've seen, from the federal government, locking down those 3 states. Well, I can confirm that as of tonight, another 245 new cases of COVID-19 have been added to what we have. I'll give us the total breakdown altogether. We now have 2,802 cases of coronavirus tonight, the 4th, or the 5th rather, of May 2020. I repeat that number again, 2,802 confirmed cases. 417 have been discharged, and we now have 93 people have now died of coronavirus in Lagos. I'm not sure why we haven't got the extra figure. As we all remember, on Sunday night, the Presidential Task Force did mention now that the Kano is no longer any other reason but the death of coronavirus. And if that's the case, maybe they are still piling the number together, and that will be added to what we have now. But from what we are told on Sunday, indicate that the cases that everyone was worried about is now coronavirus cases. Let me now quickly give us the breakdown from the 245 that we have. Also, a quick one, the Commissioner for Agriculture that was against security concern in the Southwest, just like every other part of the country, has now been released. But remember that the councillor that was with him 8 days ago has been killed. He has now been able to gain his freedom. What took place, whether there was a kind of ransom, I won't be able to mention on that yet. 245 new cases, 76 in Lagos, 37 in Castina, 32 in Jigawa, 23 in Kano, 19 in FCT, 18 in Borno, 10 in Edo, 9 in Bauchi, 6 in Adamawa, 5 in Oyo State, 5 in Ogun State, 1 in Ekiti, 1 in Osun, 1 in Benue, 1 in Niger, 1 in Zamfara. Also, from information coming out, 14 medical frontline staff have been tested as well in Castina State. So quite a lot is happening as we speak right now, and that is what is trending at the moment on the Twitter. And I will now hand over back to you in the studio.
Okay, I'm gonna take this. Let me answer some of those questions first. Yeah. One of the things we need to do is that some of the things we need to do, we will not reveal it on this platform at the moment. Maybe in parable we will talk about some few things because it is better to do it that way. But you can't play all your cards in an open air, because if you play all your cards in an open air, you're going to lose badly. We're going to keep praying that things will work out well for us. And about the vaccine that someone asked for, right? We have to play a wait and see game, because if you decide now this is what we're gonna do, they will find a way around it before then. So That is the only thing you can do. Uh, so you need to wait and play a wait and game and make decision on the day at the scene, right? We want to see how the house is going to play it out at the moment because they haven't said anything. So we don't want to preeminent them about it. We want to see what we want to see their card first before we tell them our card. I hope that answers some of the question. Hopefully, this gentleman here, what's your question, sir?
I want to ask Babalola a question, sir.
Go ahead.
The question is for Babalola.
Go
I
ahead.
want to ask about this language thing you just made mention of. If, for example, Edo goes with Edo, maybe Edo Delta goes with Uruduwa Republic, and they are in the registration and they are speaking Yoruba, how can the Edo people understand Yoruba? Or if they should go with the Igbo and they are speaking Igbo, how can we understand the Igbos? Because it just measure of they should be using their dialects, Yoruba, or the IPOP should be using Igbo. So how can these people do data out to understand these various languages?
Okay. Number one, I won't pass it on to Borala. I think I will answer that one straight away. We will not leave. You want okay, Mr. Babala, go ahead. It's your question, so you need to answer it. Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I don't know where I don't know where my brother is living. Maybe he's living in diaspora. I've traveled a lot. In Spain that I live, we have Gallego, we have Catalan language, and then we have Spanish. Okay, and then in Catalonia, no matter even the language is different between they still have some standard Catalonia and they still have the lower Catalonia. Okay, which we can be able to manage as well, just for us to be able to protect our father's language, our heritage. You know, like even in Holland too. In Holland alone, Holland they speak no less about 7 traditional language in Netherlands. Do you know? And but you will see them, they will think maybe they are speaking what we call a Netherlands language. No, they have their traditional language, which you have to protect your heritage. What I'm trying to say is this: in school, which we have to start learning people. If we want to live together as a one, yeah, my wife is from Edo State, okay? I must learn the Benin language. I must learn Benin language to protect my heritage. Nobody can just come to my father's door again and just knock door and then just continue do what they do to my forefather. How can I find my truthful blood? Maybe they're in Caribbean or Brazil. Where are they? We need to protect our heritage, my brother. I love your question. We have to, if we Europe and we come together as the old Dua, we have to learn the language. It must be compulsory rather than English. What is language? What is English? Where are they from? No one knows them. English is clean. Yeah, truly. It's clean. They came into our forefathers' land and destroy us. They took our forefathers away. Where are they? You are one of my truthful blood. I know. Everything. Then we still continue on that. How?
Thank you, Mr. Femi Babalola.
Satisfied with it.
Yeah, I believe so. Okay, guys, I would like to say a very big thank you for everybody who has participated in this tonight program. It's 12 o'clock already, and because we have to start planning for other stuff for tomorrow and next tomorrow, I'm going to start taking final words now. Where should I start from? I start from Fatai Okubido today so that I don't keep taking liberty with my uncle. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you very, very much, Mr. Moderator. My appeal is this: people's expectations in us are so high, and we must live to that expectations. We have been identified as a freedom fighter, as people who are going to educate the rest of the world about the plight of Yoruba nation and of the southern part of Nigeria. And we are from now and henceforth we must try to make sure that our goal is achieved. Otherwise, many people who have put their trust in us might be put off if the distraction is so much. Sensitization of people, their motivation, their anticipation won't be disappointed if we try to meet those things. A lot of problems are be definitely lost in South Nigeria because they are inside, they can't see it. No electricity, no good roads, no good services. Everybody is living in fear every day in Nigeria. These are things that we have to allow them to understand that hope is coming, but they have to support that hope. Please, Nigerians, anybody listening to this, hope has come, nation must emerge, and right now there is no going back. We are going to make it peaceful. We appeal to everybody. Let us educate ourselves. Let us know what we have to do prior to our emergence as a nation. And let us know that nobody on this forum is seeking for any violence or incitation against each other. We know that there could be amicable agreements among the three regions before we call it a day. Please, let us make it peaceful. And may God bless the Yoruba Nation and Oduduwa Republic.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I will go to Mr. Femi Babalola today, please, for closing submission. Briefly.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Kweko. How are you? So, what I will just say is this: as the other my brother have already challenged me. If you marry a woman, you must know that you have to learn the woman law. Either you if you still marry the other is honest. But one thing is this: the Yoruba, nobody, Yoruba is going to react anytime. So those people down in Nigeria should try to love themselves when they anything we want easily. There's no love, it's going to be more difficult. You know, so if we people in the diaspora, we do everything medicality, we go with what we call a diplomacy, other way around, and then what about people down home? My message to them tonight is this: we should love ourselves. Even the Igbo people, if really that they really want to work together, then we should love ourselves. We are the same blood, okay? You are red, you are black Indian, you are pink, Benin, or that. We should love ourselves. Love a lot. And with love, and we do anything we want. So that's my message. And again, the people who have been in Nigeria, what they call them, saying the truth. I'm afraid. Truth. I'm afraid. This is a country that is no electricity. Everywhere is dirty. There's no water, and they are mentioned this is no, I don't know which planet are they from. Which planet are they? Don't ever know. They will never say the truth. Truth. They will never say the truth. I don't know why are they doing this? Just to say the truth, so maybe it can be better, so they can come into command here. But they won't say the truth. Look at Ghana. Every two days or 5 days, the president speaks to these 11 people. No? But in Nigeria, no. Although the governor of River State, you know what is, but one thing they have more. They have to say the truth. Talking by the truth, like a gentleman say, when you talk to you die, you not talk to you die. Let them say the truth. That's my message to tonight here.
Much for that. Thank you. We really appreciate you for your summing up. Yeah. Today is gonna be a different ball game entirely. So I'm gonna let Frank Bello do his final submission first there.
Yes, I think what I want to say as my final submission is to preach love to my people, to the Yoruba people.
Yeah.
Love is paramount in our struggle. Love is paramount because if we don't love ourselves, this dream of Oduduwa nation, this dream of the new nation that is in the horizon, the nation of Biafra and Ududua Republic, will not come to life. We need love. We know those that will truncate the love, but to mobilize and then to sensitize our people, the common people in Nigeria, the traders, the workers, the bankers, those whose lives has been sent into the dungeon, that the rogues who marauded themselves as politicians, that the people fail to recognize as the hyenas and the mold in their system, will want to truncate this dream. Love, because that is the ultimate, that the spiritual source of all creation wanted from you, wanted from me, wanted from every Yoruba sons and daughters. If we collectively love ourselves, we are unbreakable. I'm not going to lie to them. In the absence of love, there is hatred. But with love and a heart of gold to ourselves, the Fulanese will be incapacitated. They will be destroyed. Love, love, and once again, love. Over to you in the studio.
Okay, thank you very much. Allah Yomi Koiki, I want you to make the big trader and the Igbale. Okay, go for it, sir.
Well, the most important thing is for generations and generations, we've never had an opportunity like this where the real engagement, and then the engagement of the grassroots of Nigerians at home and outside. And what really makes me excited is for every day one person picks up a message from this platform or other platform. But if we don't put a strong belief in the media that is the new media, that means the message itself of love, passion, and how we want to make Nigeria or Africa will never get to the right people. And we have to still also remember that media has a big role to play. And for that media to continue to be as independent as possible also means those that want to start independent must be part of that project. We've seen a lot of people have said, how come some media that started being an independent then moved away from that being independent? It's also got to do with the followers. If the followers doesn't have that belief and the support of that particular media, and I'll give an example to a particular media where everyone plays TV license. I don't know the last time some of you watched it, but yet you continue to put in that TV license because there's an institution that has been set up that if you don't pay that TV license, you can even spend some time in the jail. So no one wants to spend time in the jail, even though they don't accept or abide or believe everything that particular media is saying. But the one that is now discussing something that touches your heart, then it is also a responsibility for you to be part of that project to make it work. And I'll leave it on that note.
Okay, Allah Yomi Koiki, thank you very much
Yes,
for that. Yeah,
yes. Can I please just quickly make mention of something before we
okay,
shut down?
okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, for the benefit of everyone who is present and who is watching this stream anywhere you are, I've just talked to you a lot about love, love, love. And in the absence of love, then the complete opposite is hate. That is what we don't want. That opposite is what the Fulanis want. We need to sensitize our people. We need to educate them. The media, what you and I are doing right now, is going to go a long way to liberate Ududua Republic and Biafra Republic. For now, for us to get to the other side of the river and cross the bridge, we need the entire southern Nigeria. We want you to please go into GoFundMe very briefly, and then please support this dream so that this information perhaps will be having loads and loads of other Igbo people that we will be working on, top Igbo brands that will be coming that we know are those that believe in the Biafran dreams, just like we are so passionate about the Ududua dreams. For now, this battle is not just an Ududua battle. It is a battle to save the soul of southern Nigeria from the hyenas that are eating into our flesh and bones. Anywhere you are, please go into the GoFundMe, because everyone in southern Nigeria will have to hear about this gospel, the truth that's been taken away from them. They can only hear about it when there are no data, and that's exactly what we want to do. To try and sensitize them, to try and educate them. They've taken away their dignity. They've ripped them apart of their dignity. Sule Lamido said it, that they cannot fight. You and I that are outside are the ones that will do the battle, that will fight their battle. Please go into GoFundMe, because they want to hear from you. Igbo speaking people, they want to hear you talk here and in many other platforms. You are the ones they depend on. Not those in Nigeria, they can't do anything because the hyenas, they've incapacitated them. They can't do anything. We are the ones that will liberate them. Please go into GoFundMe and help out. It will go a long way. Over to you at the studio.
Thank you very much, from Bello. That is much appreciated. Guys, I really want to thank everyone who is online today. We're sorry to keep you this late. It's just for the benefit of everyone, because without you, there is no us. Without us, there's no you. Without us, there's no Yoruba land, because we have to do it together. We have to do what? We have to do it together. Nobody can do it alone. There's no one that will say, we have come. You cannot enter someone's house now and say, we have come. They will tell you how many of you is we. I'm going to give you a gist quickly. This is very important, and I want you to take it. I want you to take the bull by the horn. I promise you every night, I'm going to bring one of the Yoruba things to you before we go. And then I'll give you like 2 minutes to solve it. Gbèsè tarabande bá jẹ sílẹ̀. Gbèsè tí Arabande bá jẹ sílẹ̀. Ta ló lè parí òwe yẹn? Gbèsè tí Arabande bá jẹ sílẹ̀ kò tó kú. Anybody in the
think Omolara Sunshine is not here.
Omolola Sunshine. Okay, I think Mr. Babalala is
Omolara Sunshine.
Mr. Babalala, gbèsè tí Arabande bá jẹ sílẹ̀.
Fúlàní náà ni ó sọ kí wọ́n tó lọ, wọ́n fẹ́ wọ́n kọ̀ wọ́n sọ.
This is someone that was advocating you guys to speak Yoruba, and he's lived so much time in a foreign land. He doesn't even understand. I wish your children can see this video and tell them that you speak Yoruba. They will tell you that they wish speak Yoruba.
No,
Don't do
Oh,
no,
Emma
oh,
eré mo
Omawa.
ṣe o, no mo kàn fi yẹn ṣeré ni o, àwọn kan fi yẹn ṣeré ni o,
Okay,
Ayọ̀mọ̀lá.
okay, okay. If
Abio.
2 minutes more, anybody online? If you are from Nigeria, if you're listening to us from Nigeria, could you please send your number in, inbox your number so that we can do the need for you to support you with
Níta
data,
àgbẹ̀jẹ̀ sílẹ̀,
and then we
ta ni
take
We,
it
ó
from
Ọmọ
there.
ẹ̀
it
ọmọ ẹ̀ ló
seems,
máa
it
sán.
seems, it seems
sọ?
Bukola Odufaderi has given the answer.
Okay, where's the answer? No.
Omo Arabande ló máa san.
Okay, you
Mo ti sọ
tried, but
tẹ́lẹ̀, èmi dà
where's
bá ti sọ
Bukola
tẹ́lẹ̀,
from?
èmi dà bá tẹ̀sọ́dọ̀ àwọn Fúlàní ni. Gbèsè tá
Where's
bá jẹ
Bukola
sílẹ̀
from?
àwọn ọmọ náà ni ó san
I
kọ́ tó
think I
lọ.
said it. I said ọmọ ẹ̀ ló máa sán. So
Okay,
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni,
We have a caller.
okay,
We
what's the
have a
caller?
caller
Okay,
here.
èmi mo
let's get
gbà
the
á.
caller, please.
Yes, hello caller. Where are you? What's your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, it's me again, Charles. I called before.
Oh, Charles. Yes,
Yes, would you permit me once more?
yes. Go on. They're listening.
Yeah, I asked a question, but I don't think you have time to deal with it now.
Yes. Maybe you want to.
It was a question about
What are we going to do to stop the bill at the House of Rep?
the bill at the moment. Do we have any machineries down there?
Yes.
We want to stop it because I read on the Daily Post
Okay.
that they actually took a 10 million bribe to get that bill passed quickly.
Okay.
Get it enforced.
Any machineries on ground? Yes. Second.
Yeah. Secondly, there's a need to coordinate other people online, Facebook, especially some people using the Igbo platform and the Yoruba platform to propagate hate speech between the two groups or the two nations. There's no we can't be dwelling on Nnamdi Kanu said Yoruba is this, Yoruba is that.
No, we've gone past that stage. To be honest with you, we just want to go and then just fight this battle. And I think I'm going to hand over that to the studio, and maybe we will just take that up from there. Thanks, Charles.
Okay. So permit me few more seconds.
Yeah.
What about one of our brothers, Adeyinka grandson? Has any of you
forget about Adeyinka grandson. To be honest,
we can't forget about Adeyinka grandson. We can't forget about him. We're all one. Yeah, Uncle. We're not gonna forget about anybody.
I think the moderator is answering the question, and maybe I'll just hand over through to him straight away.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, we're all one. We want to try and carry as much people as possible along.
Did you get that question? Did you get the whole question?
I got the whole question. What about him? Yeah. So
the first question was
what are we gonna do about the vaccine? Right?
About the bill,
we're gonna keep our card close to our chest for now. We're not gonna tell you what we're gonna do about that, because if we tell you what we're gonna do about that, we will be missing things out. We'll be messing things up. So we're not gonna tell anybody what we're gonna do. But what we're gonna do, we know what we're gonna do, and it's good to catch them by surprise. All right. Let me tell you one thing, guys. 1 second, yeah. Let me tell you one thing. This is Yoruba land. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, there is power in Yoruba land. There's power in Yoruba land. I don't know. I'm trying to bring you guys up to scratch. I'm trying to bring you up to scratch. That's why I'm bringing all this proverb in every night, so that we can start using your reasoning very well. There's a song in Yoruba land, and this song, let them go and think about it. Let them go and act about it. Let them go and find out about it. Let them go and start preparing themselves about it. I've been singing this song in my head for some time, and there's a way out. When we want them to leave our land, they will leave our land. Frank Bello.
There's a second question. The action.
Frank Bello, do you know what that means? Are you lost? Did you know
Repeat
what that means?
I can't pick it. I can't pick it. That means somebody who is coming to attack us should be ready.
Is someone saying am I from Ijebu? I'm not from Ijebu, I'm from Yoruba land. I don't do tribalistic thing. I'm from Yoruba land.
No. That's not that. I won't do that because obviously I can't.
Someone was asking that question online. Okay. Whether Ijebu, Ibadan, Akure, Ondo, Owo, Abeokuta, Eko, we're all Yoruba, Delta, Benin. We're all of the same father, right? My brother built a house in Stratford. I built my house in Enfield, and my senior brother built his house in Croydon. Doesn't mean we're not of the same father anymore. All right. I will bring the Ewefale Jokolo Ekishashara Bagbo. I'll bring it back to you tomorrow. What you can do? Maybe I'll bring it back on Wednesday when the elders are here. And you will see how they will smile.
You haven't answered the other question of this chap, Charles.
Okay. The one
there's another part to it.
Okay. What's the second part?
The second part is what the need. What are the things that people will need to coordinate themselves on Facebook, social media, to propagate the gospel of both Biafra and Oduduwa Republic?
Okay. One thing I said a couple of days ago is that we will have an FM radio in Nigeria before the end of this month. That is why we opened our GoFundMe account so that we can support
GoFundMe.
Yeah, GoFundMe. That's why we open it, because the people in Nigeria might not have enough data to do what they're doing. Yeah, they might not have enough data in Nigeria to do what they're doing. So we want to beam this program exactly. We want to beam it to them in Nigeria, especially in Yoruba land. And not only that, we want to sponsor and feed every handset in Nigeria with this program in Nigeria. We want to feed it. We're tired of bringing these things to only the people in the UK.
It's in southern Nigeria, not northern Nigeria.
In southern Nigeria, yeah. In Yoruba land, in Delta State, and all the other people, the Oduduwa land. We want to feed this message into their phone. We will literally, you go onto your Facebook, you cannot go down without getting this program. That is what we want to do. And all these things will cost money. And this is why I want people to start pushing it. But I don't think they push anything so far tonight anyway. But that's not the problem, right? Whether they support, whether they don't support, I know God will make it happen. That is my belief. That is my strong belief. The more support we get, the easier it will be. The more transmitter we will have in various areas in Nigeria. It's going to be a secret transmitter. So you know what that means. So that we don't want anybody to go to jail for this. We don't want anybody to go to jail for this. Yes, I'm a Yoruba, right? And I probably can even explain that today. When there's a problem in an area and it's being caused by a stranger, there are things we do in Yoruba land that we won't even raise any arm, and they will have to run for their dear life. We won't fight them. We're not going to fight them. We will not fight. We're not going to use no gun and fight and sword and armor and bow and arrow and no us. If you like, bring us. You will find out your horse will not get to the south. If you like, bring armored vehicle. You will find out. Do you know why the Americans run from Mogadishu? Do you know what they run? Why they run from Mogadishu? Did anybody know why the Americans run away from Mogadishu so quickly?
Power past power.
Do you think the Somalians has power? Or what do you think they has? Do you know why the Americans are working on robots to fight their war instead of going there these days, especially in Africa? They're having a laugh. When it's time for us to liberate Yoruba land away from the Chinese and from any oppressor or aggressor, it won't take time to do that. It won't take time at all because we know exactly what to do to liberate us. I don't care what you call me. You can call me Ologun. You can call me anything. But I have my Father in heaven. I have a Father who calls me by name. You understand? I have a Father who calls me by name. Yes. And I'm sure even if Tinubu is hearing this, he will go and find out. And they will tell him that you guys need to be careful because this guy knows what he's talking about. And if he knows how to mix it together, you guys are finished. Why did you let this guy get involved in the first case? Maybe you need to go and find him and convince him to forget his struggle so that he can live your life. Or eliminate him. I don't go to Nigeria, so too bad. You can't catch me.
That's it. So how would they do it?
And you're not from Russia, so you're not going to put no anthrax into my nose here.
Anthrax.
You understand? I don't go to Nigeria. Right? So you're wasting your time. So you can't catch me. You can't catch me. You can't. I'm afraid you can't. So we finally law it will work. And then they will find that Ologbojigolo. Yes, we will show them. Okay, back to where we're coming from before. I asked a question. Gbèsè Arabande bá jẹ sílẹ̀ kó tó kú. Ṣé kí n sọ torí gbogbo yín lẹ ṣe o ẹ kò sẹ́ tó gbanú gbogbo yín o ẹ kàn sọ tẹra yín o òwe ìlú òyìnbó lẹ́ ń sọ yẹn o. Òun ni kì í jẹ́ kí ogún wọn tó pín. Are you with me, guys?
Yes.
Gbèsè tí Arabande bá jẹ sílẹ̀ òun ni kì í jẹ́ kí ogún tó pín.
Okay.
Okay. Ó ní ọjọ́ kí ogún tó pín.
Bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìgbà tó wọ́n béèrè question náà ọ̀gá bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí Yorùbá rédíò. Àwọn náà gbọ́dọ̀ fún àwọn tó wà àti fíìmù lọ́mọ Yorùbá jù wá lọ.
Ta ni ilé tó kọ yìí? Ó ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ ni ṣá o, Ṣọlá ló kọ́.
How many minutes ago?
Just 1 second.
Okay, ó ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ ni.
Yeah. Ekwagba, thank you, Dayo Rich, thank you. Agbako, èmi gangan ṣe àgbà ó kàn jẹ́ pé mo súnmọ́ àwọn àgbà ni. When we were young, we used to listen to Alàgbà Ṣùpọ̀ Kòṣemáni. I don't know if anybody knows him. Femi should know that. On Friday, Ṣùpọ̀ Anakanbi. Friday evening, about 6 o'clock, 6:30 to 7. No man better program. Ani Ṣùpọ̀. Akanbi. Ani baba. Ṣé wo lele ni àbá ṣàyàn ọ̀rọ̀? Ẹ là lórí rẹ̀. I remember this one. This gbèsè tí Arabande bá jẹ sílẹ̀. Ó ní kì í jẹ́ kó pọ́n tó pín. I remember we were coming from Abẹ́òkúta that Friday evening. And we get to in front of Pepsi Cola in Akpata Gaga, very close to Naipo, near the plastic people. And then the man now asks, someone write a letter. Thank you, Olaiwola Matthew. So you need to support the cause. Yeah, okay. Ogun is property to pin and share. Okay, that's true. Yeah, please, Delta people. Is Biafra too? Yeah, Delta can be Biafra, it can be Yoruba. They choose where they want to be themselves. So we get there, and Akobi now asked Alàgbà Ṣùpọ̀ Kòṣemáni and said, Baba, èèyàn kan kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ ó ní gbèsè tí Arabande bá jẹ sílẹ̀ kó tó kú tó bá jẹ sílẹ̀ lásán ni. Then the finishing part is kó tó kú ó ní kì í jẹ́ kí ogún kó tó pín. Because when they now want to distribute the Ogun, they have to pay off the debt first, and the Ogun will be less. So, so tomorrow I'm going to bring you another fantastic edition of this program. I really thank you. Even for this, for this alone, you're supposed to start paying this channel to teach you guys this, because I'm sure they can't come away. Oh, thank you for the love. I really love that love and like you're pouring in. Right? I really love. We live.
We need to share. We need to
Shola,
share.
don't say that. Where do you live? I don't know where you live. You live in London. So do you know Fem Babalola then? Because Fem Babalola used to live in my area. And I know his story. He doesn't know me, but I know him. I was naughty then, so but now I'm not naughty. The person that's benefiting most from this is Ola Yomiko Iki. Shola from Nigeria. Shola Adekola Shole. Right? Yes. Ola Yomiko Iki is the one that benefits most from this because he's growing hard in this one.
Okay.
Right. So yesterday we did what was yesterday's one? Shukototi Wadi Okere. No, and if you remember Dele Abiodun in those days, anybody that knows Dele Abiodun is the one that used that thing and publicized it a lot. Only Shukototi Wadi Okere, Tefekbe worry, only pokiti pok ori ọ̀tá mi ló ń lurin. Ẹkùn tó bá farawé màálù lójú ọlọ́dẹ lóko pọ́kìtì pọ́pọ́ orí ọ̀tá wọn ló ń lurin.
Orí ọ̀tẹ̀ pọ̀ pa yẹn gan. Orí ọ̀tẹ̀
máa lurin kò sí kórí ọ̀tá máa lurin because if Fulani right? If they don't want to play it right, they're gonna be into so much trouble. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I really thank you. I appreciate you for tonight. Without you, we cannot be here because we cannot just be making noise for no reason if you're not listening. So I want to thank you. I want to appreciate you. I want to thank you very much. Everybody watching from Nigeria, please don't forget, send your number in. I believe the people from last week all have got their credit for the data they used last week to watch this program. So this week, before the end of the week, please keep sending your number in if you watch. We will check to make sure you watch and to make sure you watch, you like, and you follow the page and follow Ola Yomiko Iki, follow Fem Babalola, follow Frank Bello, follow Ayo Ogundimu, follow Mayegun as well. Follow all these channels because you learn a lot from it. We're preaching peace. We're not preaching war. No, because we don't need war. We don't need a war. What do we need a war for? Do the right thing. You understand? Can I tell you a little bit about Afonja, right? And the Oyo kingdom, right? Maybe one of these days I'm gonna analyze it. No, I won't do it. I'll wait for Professor.
We've got Amina Olayinka Omolorin who is listening.
Okay, that's good. We'll wait for
Amina Olayinka is online.
Is he still alive? Who is still alive?
No,
Amina
Olayinka is online.
Is he talking about Baba Alagbashupo Koshimani?
No.
Who is still alive?
She commented, is he still alive?
I think they're talking about Alagbashupo Koshimani. I'm not sure. If you know this man, you will love him to bits. Because they educate and educate and educate and educate and educate.
Radio Nigeria.
No, OYO, BCOS. Radio OYO2 FM Stereo 98.5.
Don't say us, James.
Okay.
I have a posted comment here for you, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, go ahead.
Amina Olayinka said she's from the Afonja's family group in Ilorin.
Okay, so please do me a favor, like the page, subscribe, follow, and that story of Afonja, I want to leave it till when Baba Professor Banji Akitoye, when he comes, because he's an historian. So me and him, this is some of the things we will deliberate on. We will deliberate on why this problem in Yoruba land is still ongoing, what we need to do to take it. Because the problem of Yorubas, the Ote in Yoruba land, is actually a cause. If you don't know, it's a cause from the Alafin Oyo when he was betrayed, right? And if you want to
And
know
we have to reverse
why,
the course.
if you want to know why Yoruba don't become king in Ilorin, that is only the Fulani that become king in Ilorin, I will break the yoke on that day as well. So that's some of the things I'm going to try and tell you. So you're not learning only how to fight a battle. You're learning about your culture as well. So invite others to like the thing. I'm checking now. I hope you know what. You know one thing. Let me bully somebody on the channel today. And you know who I want to bully? I want to bully Frank Bello. We've been doing this program together for about a month now, and he has not even liked the page himself.
I
What a
have.
shame.
I always.
No,
I always.
you like the
I always.
program. You didn't like the page. You were invited to like the page, but you didn't like it because you maybe I would say you're not computer literate. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'll call you. I don't know. Yeah, because when I look now, I'm just looking now, right? You haven't liked it. You haven't liked the page, right?
But it's blue. It is blue on my. It is blue on my. On my. I've ticked the like.
Liz, no, not Liz. Noah, Jocelyn Noah. Could you please educate this man on how to like a page?
Is Jocelyn Noah
Lopez.
still around? I think Jocelyn Noah is gone to bed.
Okay. Okay.
It
We,
looks
we
like
need to learn ourselves.
Donald Trump is not taking it easy with some of this mainstream media.
You know what they were doing?
MSDNC and fake news CNN are going wild trying to protect China. 1 hour ago, Donald Trump.
Okay. Do you know what they were
There
doing?
we are.
They were doing so much mess. Okay, Frank Bello, I
Yeah,
can see you. You are invited.
the Clintons are behind that. The Clintons are behind it,
Yeah.
and the Obamas.
Frank, you are invited to
Yeah,
like the page, but you didn't like it. You didn't like
I
it.
like. I've clicked. In fact, I've shared this page today.
No,
Every time.
it's not sharing the page. It's like the page. Okay,
Okay,
Fred Babalola has
I will
liked
go
it.
back.
I like that. Yeah. So it's not a problem.
On those sex workers devise new tactics to keep
Let me
business
see.
alive.
Eh?
Let me see.
Yeah, but Fred Babalola has liked it. If you go to the page on
Hang
the
on.
top right hand corner, right in the middle, underneath the cover page, the cover thing is actually there, so you can actually like it from there. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. You've been wonderful. I really honor you. I respect your courage of staying with us. I really love you from the bottom of my heart. On behalf of everybody on this show today, I want to say a very big, mighty thank you to you. And we hope to see you tomorrow. Please don't have nightmare
Thank you very
and
much.
sleep very, very tight. Make sure you have enough rest. And we catch up tomorrow by the grace of God. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Susan Jumoke Fajano Thomas, it is important for us to stay at home. It is important for people to stay at home. By staying at home, you will help control the spread of the virus. You will help control the virus from spreading to your friends, colleagues, and the community. It is important we come together at this time to work together to support each other. Is by doing this and by staying at home that we can fight this virus. Also, it is important to practice social distancing, which means you need to stay 2 meters away from other people at all times. Please, let's do it together. Hashtag stay at home. Thank you.
Everybody in London, have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream that was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020 800 46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.